Amendment. Suffice it to say, it doesn't matter if you identify as Democrat or Republican. We have dumped tea for less.
I love what she said there. We have dumped tea for less. We have gotten in an uproar for less. You know, and I love what a governor like DeSantis has done recently, which is getting rid of property taxes. I mean, that is just absolutely crazy to me.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday.
It's basically, you never own your home. You finish paying the thing off, but you still got to pay on it. And if you don't, well, they're coming for you. It's like, wait, I already paid for it. Why are you charging me on something that I already paid for? It's crazy, man. All these different taxes. I agree with her. It's getting crazy out here.
Crazy.
And then with the census, Democrats would be in a world of hurt. But I've got more.
AOC, what are you going to do? She just said, well, Tennessee's trying to eliminate the only Black congressional House member in the state of Tennessee. She's referring to the majority Black district in Memphis. And the House member is named Steve Cohen. He ain't Black. It used to be held by Harold Ford. He ran for senator before he became a host on Fox News. He lost. And the guy who succeeded him is Steve Cohen. And Steve Cohen got elected, as I said, in a district that's majority Black. And when he tried to join the Congressional Black Caucus, they said, I'm sorry, it is an unwritten rule, no whites, Blacks only. So, who's the bigot? Did anybody complain when Steve Cohen tried to apply for the CBC? And
Good morning, everybody.
Is this thing on?
Citizens are counted in the census. There will be little to no Democrat districts. But thank you for your time, Council. You can go ahead and call your next speaker. But honestly, we have no one to blame but ourselves. Because while the average voter politically gangbangs, repping red or blue, just to defend their idols, politicians who seem devoted to destruction. By 1945, income tax became the primary revenue source for the federal government. Morally bankrupt, considering that taxes were meant to be temporary. Yet in 2026, we have federal income tax, property tax, payroll.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Name is Deontay. Really appreciate it. Here to show you guys how the Democrats keep on sending us off. Well, not us, them off. And how we need to keep moving forward and vote red and don't be misled. They out here freaking out tomorrow. We losing Black votes and power. That's not how it is. They have more options to vote. That's all it is. Instead of just voting blue no matter who. You get options. Let's continue.
Tax, sales tax, business tax, fuel tax, food tax, car tax, all of the taxes, hotel tax if you own an Airbnb. And on top of all of that, the majority of the states in this great nation have state tax. We have dumped tea for less. And by the time I was born in the 90s, the tax code grew by thousands of pages. Once a nation founded on escaping the abuse of taxation now funds politicians, their salaries, their car notes, their vacations, their nonprofits, their mistresses, even. Extorting housing and income for foolishness, while claiming that we have a housing or income or rental crisis, is a bit ill-considered. I sit back and I wonder how we can have a governor waste millions of dollars on a temporary measure, convincing half of the people, 51% of the turnout, that 10 to 1 is a fair math. Attempting to strip you away from your First Amendment while literally attacking your Second Amendment. Suffice it to say, it doesn't matter if you identify as Democrat or Republican. We have dumped tea for less.
I love what she said there. We have dumped tea for less. We have gotten in an uproar for less. You know, and I love what a governor like DeSantis has done recently, which is getting rid of property taxes. I mean, that is just absolutely crazy to me. It's basically you never own your home. You finish paying the thing off, but you still got to pay on it. And if you don't, well, they're coming for you. It's like, wait, I already paid for it. Why are you charging me on something that I already paid for? It's crazy, man. All these different taxes. I agree with her. It's getting crazy out here. It's getting crazy. And then with the census,
Right.
Democrats would be in a world of hurt. But I've got more.
AOC, what are you going to do? She just said, well, Tennessee's trying to eliminate the only Black congressional House member in the state of Tennessee. She's referring to the majority Black district in Memphis. And the House member is named Steve Cohen. He ain't Black. It used to be held by Harold Ford. He ran for senator before he became a host on Fox News. He lost. And the guy who succeeded him is Steve Cohen. And Steve Cohen got elected, as I said, in a district that's majority Black. And when he tried to join the Congressional Black Caucus, they said, I'm sorry, it is an unwritten rule, no whites, Blacks only. So, who's the bigot? Did anybody complain when Steve Cohen tried to apply for the CBC and got denied? Is this thing on?
Is it on?
Big shout out to Larry Elder, man. I love Larry. He is always on point. I wish he would have run for governor of California.
He did. They
he
cheated
had
him.
a fantastic shot, but nonetheless, no, he's right. You know, the hypocrisy with the Democrat Party is absolutely crazy, and we saw that recently on CNN, where you had a individual who brought up the point that, hey, in this new district, after Tennessee redistrict, there's going to be a Black woman who is more than likely going to represent Memphis, a Black woman Republican. So how exactly is that a bad thing? And then the Black liberal was like, well, that's still racist. And it's like, wait, what? So it wasn't racist when the white guy was representing Memphis, but it's racist when the Black Republican woman is? How does that make any sense, right? How does it make any sense?
We see Black communities, y'all, they've been trapped under Marxist Democrat leadership for the past 60 years. And what has that leadership produced? I'll tell you. We'll start at the beginning. It has absolutely produced devastation, long-term devastation, while demanding political loyalty in return. All you have to do is look at the outcomes, because the outcomes speak for themselves. They just do. All of this Black representation, it's been void of a righteous standard, and all it has resulted in is just colorful, melanated corruption. Don't believe me? How many Black female Democrats have recently been indicted because of corruption? Where does all of the trillions of dollars go that all of these majority Black districts, they get money from DC and bring it back to their districts, but how much of that money actually makes its way to the actual community to improve the conditions of the community? I've yet to see a majority Black district that flourishes in economic stability, that can boast of academic advancements. Home ownership rates have not increased. In fact, we've gotten worse and we're going backwards, not forward. So the question that nobody wants to ask, and I've been asking it for the last several shows, what exactly did we gain from 50 years of majority Black districts? $30 trillion in government spending, lots of broken homes, fatherlessness, out of control crime, government dependence, failing schools, illiteracy. I mean, abortion at this point is on an industrial level scale. We've got generations of people who they know how to protest, but they don't know how to build a darn thing.
Good morning, Big. How you doing? Glad you're in the chat. This is April Chapman. She's very educated when it comes to this political stuff, so she knows what's going on. Check her channel out.
In every single election cycle, we watch the same political machine.
Right, same BS.
She's right. She's right. We have a generation of individuals, especially on the left, who know exactly how to protest. They can tell you where to go. who to talk to, how to get the chants down. Like, they can tell you the whole nine. I recently saw a couple of clips of an individual going around, and he was asking young folks to read a card.
Done for 100 years or more.
Whoa. Not yet. He was asking them to read a card, and almost none of them could actually read it. None of them. These are supposed to be high school graduates, going out into the real world, and none of them could simply read. But I guarantee you, if you ask them to protest, they can tell you exactly how. If you ask them who the Kardashians are, to name the Kardashians, I guarantee you they could. It's crazy out here, man. Really is.
You know what I need? I need Black Democrats to stop asking what Republicans have done for Black communities, when all you've done for 100 years or more is elect Democrats to govern your cities religiously.
Democrats love to belittle the southern red states. It's almost like they start to practice the ideology of classism.
Watch the video
They
in
say
entirety.
how dumb and uneducated the South is. They say we have no money and we're broke. But one thing they conveniently leave out is that most of these red states, inside of them, the major cities are controlled by one party. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump into a list. This list is comprised of 15 cities that has some of the highest densities of Black people. I'm going to give you the party that controls them and how consecutively they have been in control, meaning the other party has not had any control since. All right. Now, the top two cities I want to start with, they have some of the longest runs in U.S. history. All right. Now, this list is not in order, just to let you know. Number one, Atlanta, Georgia, controlled by Democrats for the last 147 years, meaning they have been in control of Atlanta since the 1800s. Number two, New Orleans, Louisiana, the Big Easy, controlled by the Democrats for 154 years. Number three, Jackson, Mississippi, Democrat for the last 57
Okay,
years.
Big. So you understand what's going on then. Okay. That's what's up in Mississippi. I'm from Chicago, living in Rockford now. So I understand the blue cities in the States. They trash.
Number four, Birmingham, Alabama, Democrat, 47 years. Number five, Macon, Georgia, Democrat, the last 51 years. Number six, Houston, Texas, Democrat, 44 years. Number seven, Memphis, Tennessee, Democrat, 34 years. And y'all over there complaining about Republicans maybe taking over. Number eight, Richmond, Virginia, 143 years. Number nine, Little Rock, Arkansas, Democrat, 70 years. Number 10, Washington, D.C., Democrat, 51 years. Number 11, Chicago, Democrat, 95 years. Number 12, Philadelphia, Democrat, 74 years. Number 13, Detroit, Democrat, 64 years. Number 14, Newark, New Jersey, Democrat, 119 years. Number 15 and final, St. Louis, Missouri,
Subscribe.
Democrat, 77 years. And once again, this is the cities that are comprised of high populations and density of Black people. So as you would see, most of these cities have been controlled by the Democrat Party for over 50 years. Most of them have been controlled since before the Civil Rights Movement. Most of these cities are still complaining that the Republicans are the problem, though the Republicans haven't had control of it at all. And remember, many of those I called out was in the southern red states. So, once again, let me know how the Republicans are the problem. Your Democrat leadership has been running your cities to the ground. what y'all think.
I love it. He's on point. In exchange for, I don't know how long it's been, 70 years of voting for Democrats, Black people in this country have gotten absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, we've gotten nothing but detrimental things. Crime-ridden cities, violence all over the place, right? Poverty, failing schools. Now you can add to that list illegals being dumped in our communities, right? Areas where there's the heaviest Black population, that's where you see all of the illegals being dumped. You know, I always go back to the famous example of Chicago where they closed down.
Well, for Illinois, it's Governor Pritzker. He's a Democrat. Chicago, Brennan Johnson, Democrat. Before Brennan Johnson, you had Larry Lightfoot that likes, same sex. But either way it goes, it's all Democrat. What are you talking about, Republican? No, that's not how it, no.
The schools and told the Black people, hey, yo, we're out of funding. But as soon as the illegals hit the city, not only do they have enough funding to open the schools, they had enough funding to renovate those same schools and open them up to the illegals. And yet you want to tell me that the Democrat Party cares about Black people? Really? You hear folks complaining about some of the same things that they were complaining about many years ago and continue to vote for these same individuals. How does that make sense? But I am happy to see that more and more people are waking up to it, coming out of the smoke screen, coming out of the fog. I was one of those individuals for a long time, right? I myself used to be a Democrat. Now, you wouldn't have called me out protesting or anything like that, but I just saw, growing up, I kind of just felt like I was a Democrat, But, once you see through the smoke screen, it's a beautiful thing, and it's always amazing to see other people who were able to, get out of it too. So that's always dope. But anyway, y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Thanks for tuning in as always. I greatly appreciate all of the continued love and support. And if you made it to this point, a special thank you. Because like I've stated before, watching to the very end tremendously helps out with the algorithm. So
Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable with April Chapman as we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. And today we are back. We are back reporting on the
Florida Grown, how you doing? Good morning.
The next chief oratang, who I believe is trying to take the place of Jasmine Crockett. And if she's not careful, she gonna end up just like Jasmine Crockett, and that's unemployed. Who are we talking about today? We're talking about House Rep down in Florida, Angie Nixon, who
all right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good morning, everybody. Thank you.
Where she showed her whole entire tail with the cute pantsuit and the pink bullhorn.
Doing great. I mean, out here in Rockford, it might be a rainy day. Seems like a lot of clouds, but I'm not here with you guys. Let's continue.
Yeah, well, that action has caused her to be reprimanded by the legislators down in Florida. And today we need to talk about not just her response, but what has happened as a result, because she pulled another stunt. But before we do that, I am going to show you the clip.
Okay.
What I'd like to do is highlight how all of these antics, these agitative, behavioral outbursts that these Black melanated Marxists are doing is a very desperate attempt, but it is very intentional. And I'd like to highlight how people have grown so weary and
notice how people in Democratic states or cities are moving to Republican. Right. That's crazy how you a Democrat go to a red state and vote blue. No, stay blue and stay in the same state you in. The same thing that comes to this chat. I've been having Democrat liberals come to the chat. This is a conservative chat, American First chat. They want to jump in my chat and talk crazy. No, stay over there to the left chat if you want to. If you come over here, listen. Don't call nobody no names, stupid, maggot, baggots, bootlicker. F all that. I'm not a bootlicker. I believe in God, Jesus. These people out here, man, these lefties, gotta pray for them. The other day on Facebook, somebody said, take me out my misery because I have my Trump hat on. These lefties are crazy, man. Crazy, because I'm a Trump supporter. I love America. Take me out. That means I'm doing something right when I'm saying something right. So it's all good.
So tired. Like the black
Yeah, I live in Rockville, Illinois.
fatigue is at an all-time high. Now, one thing if you have aspirations, like political aspirations, at this point, the bar has been set so low because of the outrage and the behavior of these individuals who they really...
See, look at this chat. Baked potato. EW Maggers are fucking gross. Why are you on my chat, bro? Go somewhere else's chat and talk that trash. That's what I'm saying. We doing something right. They come over here in my chat when I talk crazy. Get you a job, man.
Really just don't know how to act. They will show their whole
Put the
entire
phone
tail.
down.
So what that means is that now that a lot of these districts are being redrawn, and many of these individuals will be voted out of office, that means there is an open playing field for regular normals, like people like you.
I'm 43, man. I've been doing this for a while now. These people in the chat trolling. It's cool. They keep the chat going. And I pray that they wake up and, you know what I'm saying, coming from me, the video, or you guys in the chat, help them understand what's going on.
And I, who know how to conduct themselves in public spaces, it doesn't really probably take much for us to get elected now. All we got to do is just know, I don't know, basic social standards, like you don't come to the state house to fight. You don't come to grandstand. The place where these legislators meet is where you go to govern. But somehow, some way, these individuals have adopted the mindset that the state house and the Capitol is where you go to protest instead of govern. This is why nothing ever gets done. They don't know the art of persuasion.
What up, Zach? It's been a while, Zach. Where you been last week, Zach? You been quiet. I'm glad you're in the chat.
Friends and influence people, realizing that yes, I'm partisan, I'm a Democrat, and they're a Republican. However, we've got to learn how to work together so that I can get what I need for my people and you can get what you need for your people. No, they don't do that because they are there to serve themselves, and the power that they want to obtain is not to empower Black people, but it is to empower the Black political class. This is why nothing ever gets done. So the first thing I wanted to do was highlight the fact that the state house is where you go to govern and not protest. You cannot bring that foolishness into the state house, and you darn sure do not show up to the governor's office
Thank you, Big. Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
refusing to leave until you were heard. You can act like a petulant child all you want to, but what's going to happen to you is what Governor DeSantis says is F around and find out. So the first thing I want to do is let's take a look at, let's do a flashback of what happened.
Jacksonville Democratic State Representative Angie Nixon got a formal reprimand from her colleagues this afternoon. I'm Jake Stofan.
I'm Tamika Hughes. It's for her protest on the House floor during last month's vote to pass new congressional maps.
I spoke with Representative Nixon before the hearing today, and she says she has no regrets.
I believe a reprimand is both appropriate and necessary. No one should take pleasure in reprimanding a fellow member.
Those were the words of Fleming Island State Representative Sam Garrison before the House Committee on Rules and Ethics issued a formal reprimand against Jacksonville State Representative Angie Nixon. Garrison chairs that committee. The punishment resulted from Nixon's protest on the House floor.
Listen, all I have to do, I know this may be how you act in the hood, you know, when your baby daddy doesn't do what you want him to do, when you show up to him and his new wife's home and you just stand out front with the bullhorn demanding to see him, like Byron, like you do stuff like that. But this is different. These are the people that the constituents have elected to represent them. And now that they've
right,
become
Jeff.
a
Number
complete
word salads.
clown show and an embarrassment to the culture, I am hoping that this was enough for you to realize that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And these
Thank
ghetto
you, guys.
ratchetine matriarchal miscreants. We can't send these people to Congress. This woman doesn't represent me at all. I would never vote for someone like this. One, people like this refuse to accept accountability, and they're the eternal victim. And what have I been teaching y'all? The chronic victim can never be trusted. Before I let this finish playing, notice how she says she has no regrets. That is one of the key traits of the imbecilic female, how they have no regrets for anything they've done because they don't have the ability to self-examine and to say, is what I'm doing effective? Is what I'm doing wise? Is what I'm doing in the best interest for the people that I serve? She can't ask herself those questions because the premise and the foundation of what she's doing is built on a lie. Notice how she's yelling through the state house.
Hey, Zach, name me one person from the right that's a Republican or a MAGA that went to a school, that went to a church. It's basically disrespected the whole Constitution itself when it comes to these rights and guns. Don Lamont went to a church, disrespected the church. When it comes to these school shootings, all the left, and these furries. Zach, name me one.
The House floor that this is against the Constitution. In fact, what she's been advocating
what up, Tonio?
is against the Constitution. These melanated Marxists are actually advocating for Jim Crow, a form of Jim Crow that I call Jerome Crow. They want to segregate Black people into these congressional districts because those Black people concentrated into those districts means more power for them. Whereas the Supreme Court is saying, no, it is wrong to draw these district lines on the basis of ethnicity. You claim your people fought and bled and got their brains beat up on that Edmund Pettus Bridge for equality. Well, now it's equality. But these people don't want equality. They want Democrat power. They're just hiding behind the guise of equality. They're cloaking it, they're wrapping it in blackface, but it's really Democrats. It's Democrat power that they want. It has nothing to do with being Black. It is, they are Black, yes, but they are Marxists, right? So they want to maintain Black Marxist Democrat power. And because that is unconstitutional, what they're doing is gaslighting the American people to make you think that what the Republicans who are spearheading and the conservative Supreme Court who is saying we can no longer allow this, it's unconstitutional to begin with, this is why they're mad. So what they're doing is they're gaslighting and trying to make you think that what Governor Ron DeSantis is doing by calling the special session to redraw the maps, they want you to believe that it's unconstitutional, but it's not. So her entire protest is built on a lie, on top of the fact it's poor taste. She's breaking decorum. There are ethics rules, but you got to understand that
Obama need to go sit down somewhere, man.
Her misery, the Arachite, they don't comply to the rules because everything that they do is rooted in rebellion, ratchetness, rebellion. At that, and so when she says that she has no regrets, you have to believe her. She doesn't see anything wrong with this because this woman has political aspirations to run for Senate. Now, she's never going to win a statewide race because, listen, if Jasmine Crockett couldn't win a Democrat primary, there's no way Angie Nixon is going to win and go toe-to-toe with a Republican candidate in Florida for Senate. But she has to participate in these kinds of antics in order to get the social media attention to drum up support and to raise money off of it. But she knows she doesn't have a chance in hell in winning. But let's finish this clip, and then I'm going to show you her response and what ends up happening next.
For last month, ahead of a vote on new congressional maps, we spoke with Nixon ahead of the hearing.
Do you have any regrets about the way that you went about the protest on the floor?
Jake, I don't have any regrets about what I did.
Nixon said she was blindsided by the punishment, saying she was never informed ahead of the hearing and was not offered a chance to speak during it.
See, you said all that you had to say. Notice how now the chronic victim, I was blindsided. I wasn't allowed to respond. I didn't see this coming. These people move to the beat of their own drum, and they are incapable of getting along with the rest of us, you guys. What have I been saying in my last couple of videos? The idea of America built on free markets, personal agency, capitalism is incompatible with Marxism. Cultural Marxism, political Marxism, it's incompatible. It is an anti-God, anti-Christian worldview that doesn't believe in personal agency. It only sees the world in categories of oppressor versus oppressed. And so it's this constant struggle in this constant power dynamic. And I'm going to prove to you what I mean. She's going to prove to you what I mean. But I just wanted to highlight how she's sitting in her car saying that I have no regrets, because in her mind, she's trying to make the people think that she's fighting for democracy. But if she was really fighting for democracy, then she would say, mind you, we have a constitutional republic.
Zach, do you live in Florida?
But if she was fighting for democracy, she'd be like, then this has nothing to do with ethnicity. Then we should not be drawing these lines based on ethnicity. And that if these Black politicians really believe that they can compete on the basis of their ideas and their leadership, then they should put their hat in the ring and run, and may the best man win. But they can't. They know that they have to keep Black people asleep and on this political psyop, and always talking about the orange man band and the white man this and the Republican Party that, when there are no Republicans in charge in their districts. They're the ones in charge of their districts, and they're the ones driving their districts into the ground, keeping them government dependent. She's going to argue and say what this fight is really about, and it's going to tell you everything you need to know. Just give her a minute.
They don't want us to have a say. They don't want us to use our voice. And it's just a slap in the face. And they go,
No. See, the collective, it's not a slap in the face. And it's not that they don't want us
Listen up. She's finna break it down. April finna break it down. Listen up, chat.
to have a voice. Every individual American citizen has a voice, and it's your one vote is your voice. What we're fighting against is the assumption that all Black people stuffed into one district represents a voice. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
You don't speak for me, and I don't speak for you, but I cast my vote based on what I want, what's best for myself. Nobody is taking that away.
Hello.
What she's really saying is they're trying to take away the melanated Marxist voices, and that is true.
Right.
We have grown.
Thank you, guys. We are growing. Thank you.
People electing women like her, these loud, overbearing, unruly, and rebellious matriarchal miscreants who only understand agitation and protest. They don't know how to negotiate and win arguments on the basis of ideas. All they know is accusation and protest and agitation. And so when she says that they're trying to take our voice,
thank you, guys. Thank you.
We are absolutely trying to silence the voice of the anti-American agenda that has risen up and cloaked itself in Jerome Crow politics. We are absolutely trying to get rid of that because it has no place in the American political system.
What is this? The fancy rec room? Y'all are deranged, invisible war, people who hate you.
Constitution was designed for a moral and a religious people. These people are neither. It is wholly inadequate for any other. So when I say that we're trying to dismantle the Congressional Black Caucus, not because they're Black, but because the ideology that undergirds their cultural Blackness, yes, I would agree. We are trying to silence your voice. I'm glad you figured it out. But it's not on the basis that you think it is. It's not because you're Black. It's not. It's because your ideas are trash and they are harmful to America. It's incompatible with the American way.
are not punished. But in this case, where the disruption caused 2 members to vote incorrectly and another to seek medical attention for a
Thanks,
hearing
Florida.
damage, he felt
Thank
it was
you.
necessary.
I don't think members like to do this because at the end of the day, they have to operate in the same chamber as with their colleagues. So it is fairly rare.
JU political science professor Dr. Matthew Corrigan says the punishment might actually work to Nixon's advantage as she's leaving the House later this year to run for U.S. Senate.
Sir, you're delusional. If you think this stunt is going to work to her advantage and propel her and help her in the Senate race, you are delusional. Now, I'll tell you this. White folks got way more patience than I do. Because if I were there, I would have personally snatched her up and ejected her out of the chamber. I'd be like, either you were raised wrong or you've completely lost your mind. What are you doing? Is this how you think you're going to get results? Where has this ever worked? It's one thing to protest on the steps of the Capitol and out in the street. But when you come into that chamber, you come in poised with your head down and ready to work. You govern here. This is not the time to protest. We don't have time for these petulant games that you're playing. And I don't know if you've been reading Rules for Radicals or what, but we're shutting this mess down. I'm going to let this finish playing, then I got one more clip, then we're going to get on out of here.
Because Democrats want to fight right now. They want to take on Republicans.
Well, they will lose.
Nixon violates House rules again. Prior to her exit from the legislature, she was warned she could face more severe consequences, ranging from a formal censure to removal from office.
Yeah, I'm pushing for the removal from office, but let me show you the other clip.
So I am here today because I wanted to be the voice of everyday hardworking Floridians in our state who are basically being deprived of a functional government.
No. Lies. Let me tell you something. Florida has one of the best functional, well-run governments in these United States. Governor Ron DeSantis is not perfect, but that man runs a well-oiled machine. Florida, flaws and all with the insurance issues they are having there, I get it. No one can touch his leadership style, and people are not scratching through the fence to move to Florida because the state is trash. That is not it. They are moving to Florida because they understand freedom, independence, law and order, a balanced budget, school choice, lower crime. There's a reason why people are leaving and fleeing New York and California and moving to Florida. Friendly to businesses. So when she says that she speaks for people, no. One, she's absolutely speaking for herself. When she says a functional government, she means a government that won't allow me, a Black Marxist, to amass as much power so I can rob the people blind by getting money from my district and then putting it into the coffers of me and all of my political cronies. That's what she's really saying. But nobody's voice is being silenced. My voice is not being silenced. I got plenty of friends that live in Florida whose voices are not being silenced. It is the Black Marxist voice that is being silenced because their reign of terror is over. Listen to what else she's going to say.
Of a government that's actually trying to strip them of their voices by rigging and drawing gerrymandered and unconstitutional and illegal maps.
Lies. The maps, the way they are drawn now, with all these funky little shapes to make sure all the Black people are together, is literally Jerome Crow. It's Jim Crow in blackface. The only way people like her can win is if the maps are drawn the way they are on the basis of ethnicity, which means she's advocating for segregation, which is the very thing that the Jim Crow system was doing. But this is why I call it Jerome Crow, because they use Black faces to push the agenda. So she keeps saying it's unconstitutional. No, what she wants and the way it's been is unconstitutional. The conservative Supreme Court is fixing it so that it's not on the basis of race. No, the voices that are being silenced are the Marxist agitator voices. She's right. But my voice My voice is just fine. I don't feel like it's being suppressed. I go in that voting booth and I pull the lever for who I want. The problem is the representation that figuratively has had their knee on our necks. We can prove it by looking at our outcomes. Look at all of the districts where these melanated Marxists are in charge, and you show me progress, show me prosperity, show me a good business climate, show me phenomenal educational outcomes, show me low crime statistics, tree-lined streets, with a bunch of two-parent households. Show me that. And then I'll believe that your voice is being silenced. No, the voice that is being silenced, we try to silence your voice because you've had too much of a voice. And it has overwhelmingly caused us more harm than good.
This is not right. I am tired of it. The Floridians are tired of the petty games and the infighting. They really just want lawmakers to come up here in Tallahassee and do their job.
And that's the thing. You're right. We want you to go to Tallahassee to do your job. And your job is not to be a professional protester and an agitator. You go in that state house to legislate and govern. You cannot govern with this kind of chaos on the floor, people standing up on furniture, bringing bullhorns into the chamber, screaming and yelling, rolling around on the floor, barricading themselves in, acting a whole fool. I'm telling you, white folks got way more patience than me. I would have snatched her up so fast and said, listen, save this foolishness for your baby daddy's house. Don't come in here with this mess. We don't do that here. Show some respect. Learn how to act. Must you embarrass me on every possible occasion? That's what I would have said to her. I'm like, you are such a poor excuse for a Black woman. This is why nobody trusts us. This is why we got a reputation of being just loud and obnoxious and unruly and chaotic. You are the poster child for everything that we're trying to avoid.
We're tired, man. I'm tired of having to raise my voice all the time. I shouldn't have
shut
had
up.
a pink megaphone because these lawmakers aren't doing what they're supposed to do.
No, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They just won't let you do what you want to do. And y'all, I'm very passionate about this. But when I say I don't like women like this, you have no idea the level of frustration that wells up in me, that this is the face of the Democrat Party, and this is who America at large believes that we should be. That every Black woman everywhere, as soon as she enters the room, here comes the chaos. You know they like to fight. You know they can't engage in any sort of meaningful dialogue to come to a resolution. You know they got that incessant need to be right. They just go be strong and wrong, loud and proud. They will never concede an argument because you can't tell them nothing because they're orangutans. Female imbeciles who can't manage their misery, and so they show out. And this type, if you don't,
Is biting brain still there, Antonio?
only language they understand, you got to restrain them. I mean, I was going to say something. Look. We just got to vote them out. I'll say that.
Vote them out.
I'll be nice. You have to vote them out. These are your Fonnie Willises. These are your Jasmine Crockett's.
Where's Fonnie Willis? Where's Jasmine? They all quiet now.
Ayanna Presley. We're trying to get rid of all of these women. All of them. Your Letitia Jameses, whether it's an AG or a House rep or a Congresswoman. Every single y'all have tolerated these Jezebels too long, and their time is up. That's why they're mad, and they're angry, and they're rebelling. We're almost done.
I don't
Take
care
your time.
about arrest. I care about the people. I'm worried about people who don't have food to put on their table. I'm worried about the veterans that are living under bridges right now. That's what I'm worried about.
She ain't worried about none of those people. You know why? Because all those people are in her district. They've been hungry. The veterans are still not getting their care. Why? Because when they go to the House to vote and to get things, they want to create more dependence. They want to create more dependence. So they're not trying to empower you to figure out how can we get you off of this food assistance so that you're gainfully employed and that you can earn a living for yourself. No, they want you dependent on them. That's why she's like, I'm worried about, the people without the food and, the veterans under the bridge. No, you ain't. No, you're not. Because if you were worried about that, you'd shut your mouth and you'd figure out how to get the resources to the people that matter so that eventually you are obsolete. But as long as they can keep you dependent, then the system is working as designed, isn't it?
I'm not worried about getting arrested.
We know.
I want to get to where everyone can hear me. Building is closed as of now. If you are not a state employee, you must exit the building at this time. This area is also closed to state employees unless you are in the governor's office themselves. So this is your one warning you will get right now. You will be trespassed and arrested after trespass. Do you understand?
No, so you said.
She said, see, the lack of comprehension. He was calm. He wasn't loud. He wasn't yelling. He was focused in what he said and said, listen, this area is closed. Unless you are a state employee, you cannot be here. And then there are going to be consequences for those, including press, if you remain after the words that are coming out of my mouth. First thing she said, no, I don't understand. Oh, so now you black and slow. Now we knew that, but we appreciate you putting it on camera. Listen to what she's about to say.
Includes press. Because press badges do not get you into the Capitol when it's closed.
So you said, what about the governor's office? We can't.
Now this happened. No, darn well she ain't got no business being in the governor's office, but she gonna play dumb. So now I don't understand. So like you mean like the governor's office?
No, we cannot. This is all closed. The building's closed. No one's allowed in the building right now. It's closed building.
Even if I'm a lawmaker.
You cannot be here. You can be out there. You can't be in here.
I'll wait on the governor.
Do you hear what she said? The rebellion. The brain dead moron heard this man say you can be out there, but you can't be in here. Well, I'll just wait on the governor. Oh, okay. Let me ask you a question, Angie Nixon. Did you really think Big Ron was gonna be like, I heard Angie is down at the office waiting on me, and I got to go down there and see what she wants. So I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, go down to my office so I can talk to her. As if you want a meeting with the governor, there is a way to get a meeting with the governor. But grandstanding like this, threatening, refusing to leave like some crazy deranged baby mama stalker, this is not how you do it. But in her mind, this was gonna work. This was gonna get her the attention so she can get on the TikTok and go viral. Well, you famous now. You nice, famous, and arrested. I'll just wait on the governor.
Some random guy speaks. How you doing, bro? How you doing, man? I'm glad you're in the chat, man. We got to link up on the real, man. I like your videos. I checked you out. You be on it. Yes. Check him out. Random Guy Speaks. Check him out. Subscribe to his channel as well. Thank you.
The lack of self-awareness
Paul,
is
what up?
astonishing to me. I am telling you, these women are a danger to the community. Because you know why? These are the women that are teaching the ones after them.
I'm gonna send you my number. Random Guy Speaks. I'm gonna send you my number and all that so we can link up. And I also use Riverside when I podcast. I use Riverside
to show out and act a fool, and that's how
SteamYard be tripping, as far as the internet access and all that.
You get what you want. Be lawless, be chaotic, be disrespectful, just grandstand and be loud and proud about it. And then don't accept accountability when things don't go your way. You get arrested, now you crime victim. The chronic victim.
So play this, chat. I got 3 days off. I mean, I be having 4 days off when I work. I work in a warehouse, whatever. So I'm a weekend warrior. So I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's why I'm be going live during the weekend. I be working 36-hour shift. But yeah, I be going live. But yeah, I be off Monday through Thursday, and I try to go live 4 days or as much as I can to give you guys what's going on. So if I don't go live like that, don't think I'm not here. I'm here for you guys. I'm here. Make sure you hit all button.
Can never be trusted. How does a community thrive with women like this in leadership? How do women like this teach young girls to be respectful and to be poised and to be polite and to be ladylike? They can't. They don't even have any experience or history with being that way, so they can't teach young girls how to act. I don't want my daughters seeing, oh, Mom, is this how the lawmakers ask? I'm like, no, baby, don't watch this. See, what you're watching, that's a whole fool. This is what fools do. And when you play stupid games, you win.
Thank you, guys. We are growing. We are growing. Thank you, guys.
This is a textbook case example, sweetheart, of how not to act. I say, baby, when I'm out, if something happens where I feel that I've been wrongly treated, do you see mommy act like that when there's been a misunderstanding? No, I've never seen you act. Do we not remain calm? Do we not ask questions to get clarification if there's something we don't understand? But do we show out? Do we embarrass the family? Do we not realize and understand that you don't just represent your family, but you represent the culture, whether you want to or not? You may not want to bear the brunt of that responsibility, but you do. But these women think they only care about themselves. As much as they claim to be about the culture and the community, every action that they do has nothing to do with the people. It is about them. This woman is interested in her fame, her attention, her notoriety, and her ability to raise money off of this retarded display of juvenile behavior in the governor's office. Oh, you famous, all right, but we are clowning the heck out of you because you're an embarrassment. It is shameful for you to act this way, and then you wonder why nobody wants to vote Black women in office. I was watching an episode of Poppin' Politics, and I saw Shelly. Shelly said something that I said, we need to run that back. Yeah. She said, this is going to sound wrong, but when I see these Black women on a ballot, 9 times out of 10, I'm already thinking they're a criminal, they going to steal, they going to take my tax money, they going to end up arrested.
Tiffany Henyard.
Something crazy is going to happen. It is sad that is now the reputation of...
Hey, Zach, do your research about Rosa Parks. She ain't all that what you think she is. Do your research, Zach. You jump on this chat with no backup, man. No research, no nothing.
The Black woman that has political aspirations because of people like her. It is what it is. You don't have to say it. I'll say it for us. I know you think you're thinking it, but you're not supposed to say that. But it's true. I am more inclined not to vote for a Black female because this is the kind of representation that we've been getting. On top of the fact that our outcomes are trash. So what's the point? So we have to deal with the trash outcomes of how you legislate on top of the fact that you're a whole headache.
Yeah.
Why would I vote for that on purpose?
Beautiful bill.
So she was arrested.
All members voted. Have all members voted? The court.
This is, Lord have mercy. Look, let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I make the content that I make to be purposely inflammatory, to elevate my voice and to elevate the
you keep saying the same thing.
Of the moment we're in right now.
Perry University. Why keep bringing them up? Only use that one time, a few times.
And slap you in the face with the truth. Because we are literally living, I told y'all, this is Emancipation 2.0. It is now or never. So many black people do not realize that they've been subjugated and oppressed and living in the ideological bondage of slavery for over 60 years. They don't know it. But people like me and so many other platforms, we are looping this kind of content and highlighting it on purpose because we want you to be free in Jesus. Absolutely. The gospel for me is primary because at the end of the day, you can stop voting Democrat and still die in your trespasses and sins. But my point is, I highlight stuff like this on purpose. I shame these women. I shame this behavior. And I label it because it's effective. You have to shine the light on the foolishness and counteract their propaganda lies in order for people to understand.
That's the problem in Black America and America right now. We have this sanitized version of our history and why we are hitting the wall in all these areas. It's not working because
hold on, Zach. He went about Rosa Parks. I'm finna give it to you. Just hold on, team. Hold on, you guys. I'm finna find the Rosa Parks. That was all BS. Give me a second. Stay with me. It's about a year old, so I gotta search for it. But it's worth it. This is my man Vince. He be coming with the facts, man. He don't be playing around. I'll just do this. Stay with me, chat.
Doesn't help you at all. American history. Love some Rosa Parks. Let me tell you why Rosa Parks is so important. You know, Napoleon said history is lies agreed upon. Man, he never made a truer statement than that. Because they have really taken the history of Black people and they've just...
Good morning, Doris.
More than anything. And they've sanitized it to a point where we can't correct our present situation because our history is mythology. It's almost like you're running out of gas in your car and you don't know anything about a car, right? You don't know anything about it. And the person is telling you that the reason why your car is stopping is because the fairies in the tank are angry and you have to pray and make them happy again and your car start running. And you believe that, and you start praying to the fairies in your tank, but your car never runs again because that's a lie. It needs gas. That's the truth. The sanitized version of it, the mythologized version of why your car is not running, doesn't help you at all. That's the problem in Black America and America right now. We have this sanitized version of our history and why we are hitting the wall in all these areas. It's not working because we lied about our history. One of the things we lied about Ms. Rosa Parks. And everybody,
Listen up, Zach. You want some information? You want some facts? Listen up, Zach. Stop typing and listen.
American history says Rosa Parks was this heroine that came and sat on the bus in Montgomery bus boycott and that she wouldn't give up her seat to a white woman and that started the Montgomery bus boycott, and the Montgomery bus boycott started the civil rights movement, and the civil rights movement cleansed America of its original sin of slavery, and now everybody in America is happy, and it's kumbaya in America, all because Rosa Parks decided to bravely not give up her seat to that white man. All of that is a lie.
Damn. Listen up, Zach. Don't type nothing. Just listen. Don't type nothing, Zach. Just listen.
But American history, love some Rosa Parks. Let me tell you why Rosa Parks and MLK is so important to the story of America. Why they have to maintain the lie. For 200 years almost, America has been called this racist, backward...
Zach, stop typing and listen, man.
...country by the Europeans. I mean, they came to America and they saw slavery and they say, this is a peculiar institution. We go on these plantations, man, and we're seeing these children that are half white and they look just like...
Thank you guys for subscribing. Subscribe.
Masters out there just getting down with the slave women and having children, and then he's going to put his children on the auction block and sell them. It's crazy. It's crazy down there. It's madness. And all this got back to Europe, and people were looking at America as this backward, crazy nation, and Abraham Lincoln knew it. So in the Civil War, even though the slaves did not ask for nor participate nor have knowledge of their freedom, Abraham Lincoln gave it to them. He said, it's going to do us very good. It's going to do wonders for our public relations worldwide. Well, Jim Crow set in after they ended slavery. I mean, they did the 13th Amendment, right to vote, 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law, 15th Amendment, the right to vote for men. They thought they may have done it, but no. The white Democrats down south said no. So they brought in Jim Crow, and Jim Crow became an embarrassment to America. But you couldn't get it stopped because of federalism, how the Constitution said that the states control their elections and so much of what went on in their communities. The federal government had very little power. The FBI and the federal police force barely existed back then. So it was like, and every time you tried to pass something in Congress to give the government more power to go down and try to make these southern states treat black people correctly, of course it'd be vetoed. They can never get it done. So Jim Crow.
So Zach, why are people
an embarrassment to the United States of America? An embarrassment. America became known all over this world as a hypocritical nation, as a racist nation. And communism came up, and the communists said, look at America. You people of color all over the world. You Asian people, you African people, you people in the Caribbean. Look at America, you people in India and all over the world. It is a racist nation that hates you because of the color of your skin. And America says, oh my goodness, guys, we are in a quandary here. The communists have taken over China. They've taken over Vietnam. They've taken over North Korea. They are here in Cuba. How are we going to stop this? Well, the first thing they say we got to do is we got to prove to the world that America's not a racist nation. How do we do that, y'all? MLK and Rosa Parks. We do an MLK birthday. We give the black guy a monument in D.C. And whenever they call us a racist nation, we can point to that and say, see, no, we're not. Even though they know King was no good, even though they know he was a communist, a Marxist, a philanderer, because black people has accepted them as their God, and white people say, if that's who you want, that's who you got, because it cleanses us. And it tells the world on the world stage, we are not a racist nation. And America wanted to prove so badly that they were not a racist nation. Look at what they did with Rosa Parks. They made Rosa Parks the first American who had not been a public official to lie in state in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol. Did you hear me? The first person that was not a member of our government to lie in state, a private citizen at the nation's capital, that was Rosa Parks. Why did America do that? As a symbol to the world. Look at us, world. We are no longer that racist, backwoods group of ignorant rubes that the Democratic Party was, the Bull Connors of the world. That's not us any longer. Yeah, we assassinated Martin. Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated here in the United States of America. Yeah, but look at what we've done. This cleanses us of racism all over the world. Now, y'all give us some props for that. So that's why Rosa Parks and this mythology around her is so important. There are songs about her, movies about her, statues about of her. I went to the Raymond Hotel in Memphis, the Civil Rights Museum, where King got shot. There is a statue of Rosa Parks in the hotel, sitting on the bus, looking out the window. They got the whole bus, and they got a little statue of her sitting there looking out the window. You can go in and step aside and get a picture took with it if you want to. Yeah. Iconic. All of it's a lie. Rosa Parks was born in Tuskegee, Alabama. She married Raymond Parks in 1943 and joined the NAACP. Her husband Raymond was an activist. He's a bit of a communist. And ironically, Rosa married him after he took her for a ride in his car. So her husband had a car. Question is, why is she riding the bus and her husband riding the car? Why was she taking that indignity of riding the bus and having given up her seat to white folks when her husband had a car? That's a very good question, isn't it? So Rosa started working she went to a few communist meetings. They make it plain to say, though, she never became a member of the Communist Party, but she did meet Clifford and Virginia Durr. Now, Clifford and Virginia Durr was interesting. She became a maid for them. And they kind of found out she was interested in the Communist Party and, civil rights. And they said, Rosa, how interested are you? Rosa said, I'm very interested. So they said, well, Rosa, we'd like to finance you going to Highlander Folk School. Now, what is Highlander Folk School? It was a communist training camp, even though it didn't call itself that, in Montreal, Tennessee. So Rosa had to leave Alabama and go to Tennessee to Highlander Folk School, a communist training camp. And guess who she met there, y'all?
Uh-oh.
Martin Luther King Jr.
What?
Ralph Abernathy. Yeah, at the communist training camp.
Zach, where he lying at? Zach, where your information at? Zach, where's your information at? What you got to the chat?
Rosa meets them there. Now the Durrs were very, very interesting. Virginia and her husband, Mr. Durr, was Clifford. Wasn't just your average little Alabama lawyer. No. Clifford Durr was somebody special. Clifford Durr had gotten his law degree from Oxford University in England. Yeah. That man was educated. And he was kicked out of the Truman administration in 1948 for refusing to take part in the loyalty oath. Back then, it wasn't like now. The Supreme Court ruled that you could be a communist after a while, okay? But back then, if they found out you were a communist, they could fire you from your job, they could blackball you, all kind of stuff could happen to you. So in 1948, this is 3 years after World War II. They were demanding that people in the federal government took a loyalty oath to the United States of America and that they weren't communists. Durr said, I'm not going to do it, and he quit. And so he became president of the National Lawyers Guild. Well, the National Lawyers Guild was this group of very, very, very liberal lawyers. And they were extremely liberal on race issues and everything else. And I told you why they were interested in the race issue and integration. Because government had to control your identity.
Yep.
Government had to control every aspect of your life.
Subscribe. You haven't already. Subscribe. We are growing.
That gave you too much power. The government says, no, you are this. You are part of our people. All of you are the same. You're going to wear the same clothes. You're going to get the same amount of money. You're going to live in the same houses. You're going to drive the same cars. You're going to be the same thing. And you're going to do it because we say so.
Damn.
That was the idea behind communism and Marxism. So Durr was part of this little clique of Marxists that believed in this ideology. So this little communist guild that they got, they defended, communists and all kind of weird people all over America. And the House Un-American Activities accused the Lawyers Guild of being a communist front group. What is a communist front group? A communist front group is a group of communists that call themselves something else and deny that they're communists. That's all it is. We're not communists, but everything they do is communist. Who funds you? Don't worry about it. Communist funds them. They have a communist ideology, but when you ask them are they communists, hell no, we ain't communists. That was the Lawyers Guild. So they all set this thing up in Montgomery, where Rosa Parks doesn't give up her seat on the bus. It's a plant. It's all set up. Everybody's in place. E.D. Nixon, Montgomery Improvement Society, all of them. Rosa gets arrested. She immediately gets bailed out. The Durrs help her out. Mr. Durr had a whole lot of pull, got Rosa Parks out of jail. And the Montgomery bus boycott is not what stops the segregation on the buses. It was not. Now, did y'all hear what I just told you? Because everybody believed that Rosa Parks sitting on that bus and refusing to get up was started the Montgomery bus boycott, and the Montgomery bus boycott, all right, that it stopped the segregation on the buses. That's not true. What stopped the segregation on the buses was a Supreme Court case called Browder versus Gale. Now, Clifford Durr was involved in this case. He basically did the case. He had a black lawyer there fronting it, but Richard Durr basically did the whole thing. And Browder versus Gale was 4 black women. One was Miss Aurelia Browder, Claudia Cloven, Susie McDonald, and Mary Louise Smith. These women went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that you could not separate people on those buses and make black people get up to give white people their seat anymore. Done. It wasn't a Montgomery bus boycott, y'all. Now, history tells you that it was a Montgomery bus boycott. How many of you have heard about Browder versus Gale? You probably heard about it if you heard from me or April Chapman, because April's been talking about it too. Browder versus Gale was a Supreme Court case that killed segregation on buses in Montgomery. It wasn't Rosa Parks. It wasn't Martin Luther King. But the communists had a PR system. And Miss Aurelia Browder, Claudette Cloven, Susie McDonald, and Mary Louise Smith did not. And they told the press there was Martin Luther King Jr. and the Montgomery bus boycott. And Rosa Parks that started all of this, and they became national heroes. Matter of fact, MLK went to the White House with Eisenhower and Nixon. He became the guy after that. It was all a lie. She was a plant. She was a plant. Now, how do you feel about being lied to? Well, most of you don't care. Well, I don't care. I don't care. You know? Again, why is this important? It's important so America understands its real history. Could you understand anything about Black America and white America if we didn't know about the Civil War? Where all of this racial strife and everything, if we know anything about slavery, where the racial strife and everything comes from, if we know about the American Revolution, how we fought against the British for our freedom, all of these things, we would be like, why are we the way that we are? Why do we speak the language that we speak? Why do we do the things that we do? These help to explain it all. So if we have been lied to about the American Revolution, or we were captives of spaceships from Mars, and the Martians and their benevolence gave us our freedom, we'd be so jacked up now we wouldn't know what to do, because our history would be sanitized and a lie. The reason Black people are in such bad shape right now is because their history has been sanitized and it is a lie. That's all there is to it. I'm here trying to get you to understand Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, all these cats in the civil rights movement, Abernathy, Andrew Young, all of them were plants by the Communist Party. Stanley Levinson wasn't involved with Montgomery bus boycott, but all of them had come from the Highlander Folk School, which was a communist training camp in Montreal, Tennessee. And a matter of fact, Tennessee closed that sucker down, took his charter, and
I'm not upset. Zach, I'm not upset about anything. I'm happy. I'm chilling. Life is great.
Everything, because they were just putting out communists, causing hell, raising hell all over America. Y'all, that's the truth. I know the truth is hard to handle. I know.
Yep, Camel. Yep. Thanks for being in the chat. My man Vince be coming with the facts, man. Do your research, you see he ain't lying.
I know it's difficult. I know Rosa Parks has been a hero
to the United States of America for a long time. I think that she can be a hero to the left because she did help cause the communist revolution in the United States of America. The black community, because the black community now is basically a communist community and a third world community and a first world community. We have, dictator worship, apostate religion, government control.
Zach, you went with the feelings. You need to call everybody maggots, all type of crazy names. You the one with the feelings, not us.
Terrible education, crime, substance abuse. So yeah, I think she should be celebrated by the Marxists and the communists, as Dr. King is. But true blue American, no. We need to see them as they are, even if our federal government still wants to get.
You bet I did, and I told him I didn't like that. I don't think it's right. I would go to the meetings and say things. This is wrong. She's not the first. I'm on the bus with Claudette. She's the first. I think there's a lot of lies been told.
Damn.
A lot of lies were told. Margaret Johnson Birch, age 91, born in 1932. And I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. I came up as a child. I would call it a struggle. You didn't have no money. Your parents didn't have money. You had to get out and work. I started working at the age probably 13 at downtown Montgomery at the train station. Trains were running in Montgomery then.
Subscribe. If you haven't already, subscribe.
I knew how to cook from the age of
Name is
6 or
Deontay
7.
or D.
So that's how I started. I didn't go to school like most girls because my mom had 12 children. By me being the oldest, I had to stay home a lot of days out of school. And of course, I got behind in school. But as I grew older, I went to work and promised myself that I was going to finish high school.
As far as, one thing about Montgomery, it has been a place known to help start off the civil rights movement.
Of course.
At what point did you see race as a youngster? When did you experience it? When was your first racist encounter for yourself that you can recall?
My first race encounter was when we had to walk to school every day. So you had to catch the city line bus, of course. And if the bus is full of white people in the front, then the bus driver would hand his hand out the door. He wouldn't let you come through the front door. You hand him the money and walk to the back. And there have been several times where I encountered with the race on the bus. He would pull off after you give him the money and see you standing there. So those were my struggles most every day, trying to get to school and back.
One of the big
Matt,
things
good morning, Matt.
The bus driver, speaking of that, is you were to have this.
They put Zach on timeout.
One that would Rosa Parks become the face of this movement, but we would later find out in history that there was somebody else.
Yes.
Claudette Colvin. What's your relationship to her?
She was my neighbor.
Wow.
She was 15 years old. She wasn't old as I was pregnant. That was in 1955, March. So she sat down in the white section. You had a long seat here for the black and black over here. But she sat over here where the white people sit.
Doing great.
And of course, he looked through the mirror and saw her sitting there. And he immediately started hollering, "Get up back there. Do you hear me? Get up. Get up back there. Do you hear me, girl?" And stuff like that.
Damn.
She didn't move and she didn't answer him not one time. And by me being older, and I'm saying to myself, why don't Claudette move? Saying to myself,
You're seeing this.
I'm looking at this.
You're on the bus.
I'm on the bus.
Wow.
I'm looking at her. And she in the wrong seat. I'm saying to myself, because I knew he's supposed to come and hit you and beat you up.
Right.
That's what I was afraid he was going to do. But when I
Antonio had
that,
5 boosters by now. Antonio ready for the Zika virus booster too, and shot.
don't have to do nothing but
No, was it the Hunter virus? Yeah, he want the Hunter virus shot. Forgive me on that one.
stay black and die. And when I said that, he immediately got up out of the seat. I stood up and braced myself because I thought he was coming to hit me. But he didn't. He went straight by me, went out the back door, went in the cafe and called the police. They came to the back door, went to her seat, picked her up like she was a baby, took her out of the seat, went out the back door and threw her in the police car.
Are these white officers doing that to her?
That was always white then. You didn't see no black officers then.
Okay.
Just white.
Got you. What's happening in your mind? Are you thinking they about to come for you next?
I thought they was going to come and say something to me, but they did. He came back to the bus and he continued his route and put us off the bus. And we went straight to, we called that lady Aunt Shug, her auntie house, but we all called Aunt Shug, you know, and told her what happened to Claudette, that she was in jail.
Wow. And Claudette was pregnant at the time?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Got you.
Now I hear people say that. I don't know whether she was pregnant or not. I can't say that.
Understood.
Right.
Now,
but I did say whatever happened to her, it happened to Rosie. She was recognized. Whether she was a 15-year-old girl, she was a human being. And I think that was wrong to treat her like they did.
And how did he feel they treated her?
They didn't recognize her as being the first person that was Rosa Parks. She got it. She was working down there with some black people in the NAACP or something. But she was working among them affairs. She sold there. And they got her. I guess they just got together and got her to do, and I always say they did because she was real light.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I still would say that. Claudette was dark skinned.
Yeah.
This lady was lighter than me.
Because that was the conversation that I was seeing, was that they felt that Rosa Parks was like a better image for
a better person for the job.
So they could push it. And
push it on.
This was the NAACP putting this together?
Yes.
Wow.
And this man that was really behind it, he was a porter on the train, but he was in that organization. He was in it. And I always say that from my perspective, he was going with her.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got you.
Oh, yeah.
Got you.
It was something going on between him and her.
Got you.
Because Miss Rosa Parks' husband left Montgomery way before she did.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know Rosa Parks? Was she like someone that you knew?
I never knew her. All I knew from what they read, when I read in the paper the next day, that's how I knew her. I didn't know she worked at Montgomery Fair. And I've been in there many times to buy shoes. But she was the Census there. But I never knew her.
Got you. Now, as far as Claudette, when she would...
Hey, Antonio, didn't the blue states stay locked down during COVID while the red states opened up education and jobs as well? When it came to the blue states, they had the kids stay at home and use laptops. And the kids didn't even use the laptops. They use the laptops for everything else but education. And you cannot lie to me and say, I'm lying, because I worked in Chicago public school. I was the head of security at Austin High School. And they had the kids do e-learning at home. And these kids didn't learn nothing, period. While the red states opened up and kept booming. The blue states kept all the lockdowns.
But get arrested? Did her parents have to rush down to get her out? Like, what was the process to get her free?
Lawyer Gray had just finished law school in Cleveland, Ohio. He's from Montgomery, Alabama. They just named a street in his honor over there, Jeff Davis, Lawyer Gray. They just gave his name, changed his name, because he was the first lawyer that they called. And right out of law school, he didn't know what he was doing. He just came and took the case and went from there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing could be said when you look at this is, you mentioned that you felt that Claudette, her skin color may have been the reason. Were there other reasons why you think they decided not to pick up Claudette's
Well,
case?
from what I hear, she was pregnant. Someone said that, but I can't say that because I don't know.
Did you have any animosity when you saw Rosa Parks get all this love and people pushing her and saying
When you guys get a chance, this is the video I did 2 days ago. Hope you guys like it. Check out the title. Check it out. Check it out.
Did and I told him I didn't like that. I don't think it's right. I would go to the meetings and say things. Yo, this is wrong. She's not the first. I'm on the bus with Claudette. She's the first. In fact, Claudette wasn't the first. Miss Smith was the first one, but they never recognized her.
Gotcha.
But they gave her a plaque in her yard 2 weeks ago. Look how long that's been. Right. They set up a big plaque or whatever for her. They're trying to,
all blue states and city school education is terrible.
Process that I knew when I would go to some of the meetings at Hope Street Baptist Church. That's where they met at. Until my husband stopped me from going because he figured it was kind of going to be bad over there. In fact, it was. But anyway, they always got Rosa Parks into everything and anything. I mean, and then I say, where was she? I don't care if she was 15 years old. She still was a human being. Yeah. That's the way I looked at it.
Yeah. How did Claudette feel about it? How did Claudette feel about it?
Oh, Claudette was bitter. Yeah. She's bitter to this day.
I mean, so in this aspect, who do we blame? Is Rosa Parks to blame for this? Is the NAACP to blame for this?
Rosa Parks.
What about you mean about vaccines turning people gay? I said booster shots and all that. I mentioned about no vaccines people turning gay. What are you talking about? I don't care about no vaccines. I haven't got none. And if I did, I was little. When it comes to this COVID BS, hell no.
Father's not to blame. She was just going about what they did for her. I guess that was okay with her.
Yeah.
I blame those people in the ACP and that Porter, that Maine, and he's the main one. He worked on the train station. Okay. I got a name after him over there. I can't think of it right now, but it's in that book. They pushed.
Are they wilding out because these districts are being cut up and how they're dealing with it? Acting like a bunch of old women. They do not care that the community itself is being left to savages. And that young black men, and young men in particular, black and white, are now growing up in a society where they are in two extremes, either extraordinarily violent or they're extraordinarily effeminate. Nowhere in the middle where you can have righteous might, philosopher king.
Right. See what you talking about? Once again, get a chance, check it out. Check it out.
Either one or the other.
I did it 2 days ago.
You can't be a Renaissance man with these people anymore. It doesn't exist with them. Sadly, what falls into this is this young lady in Brownsville, Tennessee, named Satura K. Hayes. Satura. She was a junior at Hayward County High School in Brownsville, where I went to high school, actually. And all my brothers and sisters went.
Right. Okay. I don't understand these lefties and these damn Democrats. They try to bankrupt Trump. They try to put Trump in jail. All type of crazy stuff. And then the man run twice, and then he comes to president. Now y'all want to work about some damn Epstein file. Are y'all serious, lefties, Democrats? They should have used the Epstein files the first time and and before the second time. Y'all wait till the man become president and then worry about the damn Epstein files. You people are delusional, man. Anything CNN or The View say, y'all with it. No research. That's sad.
And just got the tragic news that she was murdered. She was at the park on prom night, and I think some of the children were there taking pictures before they went to the prom, and she was there.
And I'm saying, since Obama, Biden, they had the files. They could have been brought the files out. Don't come with this BS about it's been redacted, it's been this, it's been that. It doesn't matter. You said Trump was in the files, Trump should be in jail. But he's not, because Trump was the one who told on Jeffrey Epstein. So Trump was a snitch then. How about that? He snitched on Jeffrey Epstein, told the cops this man is foul, get this man up out of here. When he found out that Epstein was messing around with some people that was young, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, and that was it. Do y'all research, man.
Somebody came and started spraying people. I think 4 other people got hurt, but she's dead.
It's a night meant for celebration, but it took a tragic turn in West Tennessee. 5 people shot, 1 killed during a mass shooting in Haywood County right before prom. New tonight, Haywood County schools have identified the victim as Satura Hayes. The school also announced they will be closed on Monday to allow students and teachers time to grieve. Fox 13's Martin Staunton is in Haywood County with how the community is reacting.
This park has been the backdrop for Haywood High School prom goers for years. It's where they do their photo shoot. But this year, it became the site of a mass shooting. We talked to people in this neighborhood, in and around the park, and we found one man who says this gun violence hits too close to home. Haywood County Schools has identified the young female student who was killed as Satura Hayes. The district is extending its condolences to her family.
It's just tragedy. You know, I pray for the family and the loss, but it's just too close to home.
A night meant for pictures to capture prom memories suddenly shattered by gunfire. Neighbors say the street was filled with more than 100 students' vehicles. Quickly, it became filled with police in minutes. Investigators say the students had gathered here at Webb Banks Passive Park Friday evening, dressed for prom, taking photos, celebrating a milestone. Then shots rang out. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says 5 people were hit. Satura Hayes died from her injuries.
I didn't know her, but I think my daughter was a friend of hers.
4 others were hurt and rushed to the hospital. 1 remains in critical condition. Investigators are still working to piece together exactly what happened. Early information suggests there may have been multiple groups involved and
to the crimes perpetuated by.
It claims in the mid-2000s, President Trump called police about Jeffrey Epstein. Among the 3 million Epstein files released by the Department of Justice last month is a 4-page FBI report on an interview the Bureau conducted in 2019 with the man believed to be
looking into whether this was a possible drive-by shooting.
So, DD, is that a lie? This is some ABC News. They just said it, that Trump snitched on the man. Is that not enough proof for you? Y'all be just saying anything, man. I'm right here to prove you guys wrong, I see.
In the aftermath,
I'm with it.
Haywood High School prom was canceled.
It's just senseless to me. I think kids should be able to enjoy themselves. And, you know, especially at the time of their last year of high school, memories and all that. So I'm hoping someone will come forward with some kind of information.
The Haywood County Sheriff is calling this a senseless tragedy, offering prayers to Hayes' loved ones, her classmate, and a grieving community, especially on a Mother's Day weekend now marked by loss.
At Mother's Day, then you got to plan a funeral for a sweet child like that.
And right now, the person or persons responsible remains at large. Haywood County Sheriff.
I just showed you something. He says not to. Oh my gosh, man!
Resources.
And this is ABC News. ABC News is a Democrat-run channel. So you guys amazing.
Any and all that are available to him to find out who the killer is. We'll continue to track the investigation.
This is
in
sad.
Brownsville, Martin Staunton, Fox 13 News.
This is sad. Why you in my chat? I'm gonna show you information, show you the facts, and you're gonna say that's not it. Why you in my chat then, man? Y'all wasting y'all time. I'm giving you guys facts, and you're gonna tell me no, they ain't it. Really?
You know, this isn't the first time that we've seen violence around prom. Last month, police say a 17-year-old
Oh, you
shot
want that I got you moment.
LaDainian Kathy at a gas station on Shelby Drive after prom. Police say the shooting happened during a robbery. The teen suspect has been charged with first-degree murder.
Get out of here. Bye-bye.
I have yet to hear any of these black politicians say anything about that murder. They've been too busy screaming and yelling about their congressional districts, majority black districts, being cut up. because they cannot go out into mainstream society and win an election. If they can't use race, anger, hatred, does not matter. Dads are designed to protect their families and their communities. And these dads have to be dangerous.
One of the most notorious sex predators ever in the United States of America. And they asked him, they said, what made you target or what made you go after a specific child? He went after boys, girls, black, white, Hispanic. It didn't really matter. He went after them all. There wasn't a specific demographic he focused on. And the most amazing thing he said, I looked at the father. And if the father wasn't a threat, I would go after that child. That blew me away. He didn't look at the mother. He looked at the father. And if the father wasn't a threat, so I've started telling you, hey, be a threat. That's a good thing. If you're a dad.
If you have children, you are a dad. God has equipped you with that gift to be a dad. And here's the reality. You are the first hero to your son, the first love to your daughter, designated to be the king to your queen. So as you build what God has put in your hands to build, make sure that you're equipped with a weapon to protect, because you are the king of that kingdom, and the kingdom can't fall unless the king falls first.
Now, you got this guy out there, Justin Pearson. I call him Nate X. If y'all remember the Chris Rock character on Saturday Night Live, is this guy by the name of Nate X. Nate was a throwback to the Black Panther days and dashiki wearing guys who saw racism everywhere, just everywhere. And he was a caricature to be made fun of. And now we got these guys in Tennessee. Justin Pearson is really looks just like Nate X. Look like he weighed 120 pounds soaking wet. Looks like a microphone with the big afro. It's like he watched too many Black Dynamite cartoons and blaxploitation movies and he saw Mario Van Peebles' movie Panther, and then he happened to saw Nate X and thought that Nate X was a character to be held up with some virtue. And he's running around just raising hell because the people he had only been up there. He was up there about a year before they kicked him out because all he knows how to do is protest. He doesn't know how to sit down and maneuver and talk and compromise and get things done. All he knows how to do is protest. Go up there raising hell with bullhorns and fight, thinking he's going to get the respect of his colleagues by doing that. But that's all they know how to do down there is fight. So when they saw this violence, they said, what's wrong with that? They're violent. They're ignorant. And so you look now, what's going on? They're going to raise hell about this too. The Supreme Court just ruled that Alabama.
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow, no problem. I'll be on all week. Monday through Thursday, I'll be on. It's just the weekends. I work the weekend shift, 36 hours. And so as a matter of fact, I got this Friday, y'all. So I'll be on Friday as well. So this week, I'll be on all 5 days.
Yeah, to cut up. It's only Black District. Oh, and they mad.
Oh, you thought you were saying about JFK saying the vaccine make them gay? It probably is. They try to make the frogs gay as well, or they already did it already.
So Mississippi cutting up
what
theirs,
up?
Alabama cutting up theirs, Tennessee's cutting up theirs. Cut them all up. The chronic victim can never be trusted, says Carl Young.
Because I want you to know that I am more offended as an African-American woman than you will ever be.
The chronic victim can never be trusted.
The reason we could never be who we wanted and dreamed of being is you kept your knee on our neck. We could run corporations and not hustle in the street, but you had your knee on our neck. We had creative skills.
Look at this bullshit. Had y'all knee on our neck. It's about that George Floyd BS. George Floyd woke up that day with a bogus 20 and fentanyl. That was on him. Now the cops should get off of George Floyd and show the world that George Floyd is not compliant. So they both was in the wrong. Should never have happened. But Floyd came in with a bogus 20. And they said, hey, man, your money bogus. And George Floyd ignored him, popped the pill. The cops came and went from there. And then George Floyd, you know what I'm saying? He did a home invasion and woman was pregnant, put a gun to her and robbed her. The man's a career criminal. Nobody's perfect. But Floyd never tried to do better up until his death. George Floyd not tried to do better up until his death. The man woke up and went to the store with a bogus ass 20 and lost his life. Do y'all research.
We could do whatever anybody else could do, but we couldn't get your knee off our neck.
The chronic victim can never be trusted.
It's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he
right, bud.
himself by his own bootstraps.
Still on your knees.
Antonio, stop with this BS about Biden couldn't do anything. He was a president. He could have did an executive order. Either way it go, if they want to get rid of Trump, they could have been sending the Epstein files out. Need to check your hard drive, Antonio, because you guys keep on worrying about this damn Epstein files, man. Check your hard drives.
Stay on the plantation.
Prayers for the victim.
I decided to be a free man. Slavery is a choice. You know, victims. And what did I tell you about the chronic victim? It can never be trusted. And while the children die, they act like sissies. And this Justin Pearson really act like a sissy. You got a video of him, Holy Ghost dancing somewhere. You can see it here. Go, Justin, go! Put him up, put him down. They call that a man. Man, if he was my son, I'd beat the hell out of him. My daddy would not allow me to act like that. Under no circumstances. But this is what they call a man today in Memphis, Tennessee. And this is why the black community and America is in such bad shape. The liberal press will look at this person and hold him up as a paradigm of virtue in the black community and say, y'all need to be like that. Well, the problem is, y'all, they are like that. That's the problem. They're a bunch of weak,
Is there any proof
pussified
that Trump went to
sissies.
the Epstein Islands 44 times?
And I can't stand them at all. When I see them acting like that, you know what I do? I say, look, man, what was...
Okay, here we go, Antonio, man. Put that phone down, bro. Put the phone down. There is no verified evidence of anything of Trump doing, man. What are you talking about?
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, boy? You was raised by your mama, weren't you? Oh, yeah, well, what's the problem with that? I said, well, that is the problem. Now, I can help you become a man. Oh, you can get the hell out of my face and go on about your, put your pink panties on.
Antonio, where you at in the chat? Come on, you was typing real fast earlier. Type fast now.
Now, what you want to do?
Now prove this wrong. You say Google, here it is.
And we make these decisions, decide whether I have anything to do with it. Because I'm not going to allow evil in my...
All right, Jeffrey, man, I really appreciate you, man. Name is Deontay D, man. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you.
presence. It's time for the men to stand up. It's time for this feminine energy.
Yes, it's common sense, baby.
It's time for these.
I don't trust Google either, but you got people like Antonio keep saying this ain't proof, where's the proof, where's this and that. And I pull it up and here's, look at this.
You know, the black community's been led by a bunch of fat, unattractive black women. And they mean.
Whoopi Goldberg name is in the files too. So is Whoopi Goldberg bogus? There's plenty of Trump. There's plenty of pictures of Bill Clinton around Jeffrey Epstein on the plane, walking around with Secret Service and all that. There's none of that with Trump. What are you talking about?
And that's not a flex, y'all. When you're led by women and children, it is not a flex. It is a curse. So you got feminism and LGBTQ that's taking over
Trump
the
is
black
disgrace.
community.
You a disgrace. Get out my chat.
How does it live under that, y'all? Tell me how do you live when you got women and LGBTQ running the community? You can't make children. You can't raise children. There's no discipline. There's no security. All you got is feminine energy and feelings. And this is why all you got is protest. Not respect. Protest. Men don't protest. We demand.
Could Joe Biden release the files?
I'm not going to ask you.
Files on Trump.
And I'm not going to protest you if you don't. It's going to be like high noon. We're going to meet somewhere and settle this. That's how that's done. I'm going to protest. I'm going to lay down and let you beat me until you get tired, and then I guess you'll give me what you want. Men don't protest. We demonstrate. What does that mean? Well, I remember when I kind of fell in love with Virginia. A bunch of Democrats that got elected. And of course, they did what Democrats usually do. They said, we're going to try to take your guns. Well, the people came out the hills and they did not protest. You know what they did? They demonstrated. How did they demonstrate? A demonstration of protest. Protesters go there with signs and chant and walk around and yell. These people showed up with their guns, their AR-15s and whatever assault weapons they had, and they basically encircled the whole Capitol on the day they were making the vote and stood there with them. And you know what they did? The Democrats voted that stuff down. And when they left, they picked up all the trash, and it looked like that nobody had ever even been there, and they all went back home. That was not a protest, baby. That was a demonstration. What did they demonstrate? We're going to blow your damn brains out before we let you take our guns. The founding fathers did not protest. Them jokers demonstrated. You are our subjects. No, we're not. Yes, you are. We'll show you that we are not. That's a demonstration. A protest is your child didn't clean up their room. And you walk around with a sign saying, please clean your room. Please clean your room. Please clean your room. A demonstration is walking in with their belt and say, clean this room up, I'm going to tear your ass up. That's a demonstration. See the difference? Men don't protest. We demonstrate. When my dad walked up to the Klansman with the gun and told him, you touch me, I'm out, I'm going to blow your brains out. That wasn't a protest. That was a demonstration. That's what men do. If these black men or these black Democrats had power in Tennessee, they'd have been afraid to do what they did. How are you demonstrating politics? Usually with money. That's how you usually do it. With money. We will raise the money to defeat all of y'all. If you do what? We'll make your lives live in hell. We will primary you. See, that's why the Jewish community, you don't see them bother the Jewish community. That's how the Jewish community protests. That's how they don't protest. They demonstrate. They demonstrate. Ask Kerry Bush how they demonstrate. Yeah. Yeah, ask a lot of these people that go against Israel in the United States of America how they demonstrate. Mm-hmm. That's how you wield power in government. But since these black Democrats don't have any money, they have no power. So they're like a bunch of women.
All right. Thank you, guys. We're growing. 2028. Wow.
That's why
Thank you, guys.
I don't protest. We demonstrate. And we're demonstrating right now how to wield power. Because we have just basically taken all of you black Marxist districts from you, and you can't do a damn thing about it. And when I'm having the best part, the best part of this, okay, if you know you got yourself a criminal and you get ready to hang him, you don't really want the criminal to go up there, like he's got honor and respect and that he's brave. You want to see him, you want to see him screaming and yelling, acting like the fool and the coward.
They said the blue states have all the money, then why they broke?
And he is, because the rules are his, right? That's what you Democrats are doing.
Oh, too much welfare, that's why.
There is nothing you can do about a Supreme Court ruling. Do you think that you're going to protest enough where Clarence Thomas is going to go up there and change his vote when you can't touch him? He got a lifelong. And here's the thing, they got so mad in the state of Virginia. Do you know themselves had a secret phone call? It said that they were going to vote to raise the retirement rate, the retirement age. So everybody on the Virginia State Supreme Court could be kicked off so they could put a whole nother court up there and have this court vote the way they want them to vote. This is how desperate they are, y'all. This is how they know they're going to lose the midterms. Do you think they'd be even talking about that if they thought they were going to win? They were talking about, the Democrats were talking about passing a law in the state of Virginia because, the Supreme Court in the state of Virginia ruled.
So why is Mondani asking for money if the blue states got money? Because Mondani is about to bankrupt New York. And I'm going to prove it.
That the new district map that Virginia had passed was unconstitutional. Why? Because these idiots forgot to learn to read on the day that they taught reading and reading class. Constitution says, plain as day, to pass another constitutional amendment, you have to vote for it in one session, then have an election, and then vote for it in the next session, and it has to pass each.
Right, use his own money to help New York out.
And the Supreme Court said, we told you couldn't do that, and you did it anyway. So now they said, well, we'll show you. We're going to raise, because everybody in the Supreme Court, I think, is over like 54, and they're going to raise the retirement age.
A chaotic clash. Police arresting anti-ICE protesters after they mobbed a New York City hospital Saturday night. But of course, Mayor Zohran Mamdani not missing a chance to go after the immigration agency.
So after mobs assaulted a hospital where a fugitive was being looked after, New York's mayor ignited something, and we're now seeing hordes of agitators roaming the city, altercating with everyone and everything they don't like, whether it's ICE, the police, you name it. But this hasn't gone unnoticed by America's border czar, and he says New York better get ready for something big.
This is Cash Jordan. He lives in New York. So yeah, he lives in New York.
All I'll say to Mr. Holman is that Donald Trump himself said he would not send a surge of ICE agents to the state of New York unless I ask. I'm not asking.
Well, Governor Hochul, I'm not asking either.
These kinds of actions, they are the actions of a reckless agency that is operating with impunity, one that deserves to be abolished, frankly, and that they do nothing to actually serve public interest. It gets worse. Those protesters, they were literally blocking emergency exits and entrances. If we're talking about the prospect of ICE coming here, we have to ensure New Yorkers actually know their rights. New Yorkers know what it means to.
Right, we're about to lose the Bears. Chicago about to lose the doggone Bears because Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritzker sent all the money into the doggone illegals. That's crazy. $1 billion team about to leave that's been around for 100 years because they can't get their shit together.
Be a sanctuary city.
The bottom line, mass deportation, what they're going to get. We're going to flood the zone in New York, so we have to. We've already arrested over 6,100 illegal alien criminals and taken them off the streets of New York.
So New York's governor is putting the entire state on red alert. Look at that. But, well, prevent them saying immigration is not my problem because that's a federal thing. There's zero proof these are good for America at all. And because these places won't turn over federal fugitives if they arrest that person. Sanctuaries are by default the safest locations. Those who commit crime can set up shop if they're here illegally. Plus, our revolving door justice system protects all of our criminals, and it's going to make sure they stay on the streets instead of behind bars as they build up rap sheets that will make your head spin. On top of that, New York is now loaded with a critical mass of people who hate the American way of life. They hate capitalism. They think other people's money should be their money. They're actively voting for it. And everybody here wants a wide open border now. And here's the problem with that. A sanctuary cannot exist both for the benefit of the country it's in and those who are illegally inside that country at the exact same time. And when you add to that the idea that New York needs more and more tax money to fund programs that are for every single resident, regardless of their status, by default, those legally working and paying taxes while dealing with New York's never-ending unaffordability are going to be the ones who end up paying for everything. And that brings us to the real reason the border czar says a surge is coming to New York. Sanctuary cities, they're not helping out with the affordability thing. They're also not helping out with the crime thing. They are a magnet for criminals all over the country to come to places like this because they can set up shop here in a way that they can't anywhere else. Yet crime and affordability are two things the politicians here love to talk about, but so far just keep making worse. Take, for example, the idea of frozen rents. If you're not also going to freeze taxes and mortgages for landlords, pretty soon you're not going to have any more landlords. At the same time, loading our justice system with even more non-jail solutions to crime just means criminals now have less of an excuse to not do the thing that's destroying our city from within, while jacking up the cost of everything people pay for, like the ice cream in this locked freezer. And as you walk down the street and you see the empty plots of land that should be apartment buildings but aren't for some reason, it starts to become pretty clear that New York City's problems, its crime problems, its affordability problems, all of these are self-inflicted by a thought process that does not work. Speaking of which...
And this person that these protesters, or quote-unquote protesters, were trying to
That's what you telling about, Antonio?
protect, he had a prior, I think, arrest or conviction for assault and tried to run over the ICE agents, and this is a person that they're trying to protect. It's really shameful. Mondami's shameful.
Yeah, that was not an ICE raid. ICE was at a hospital, yes, but the hospital was raided by the mob who was hunting them down. Sometimes when making an arrest, ICE agents or the fugitive they've apprehended need to be checked out. This patient was discharged, they were fine, healthy, and ICE was in the process of leaving when the mob surrounded the hospital, raided it, trashed the street outside, and attacked police officers. And even though these mobs and the mayor,
So, Antonio, if you live in Chicago, why are you defending Chicago? It's trash. I'm from Chicago, 100%, 43 years old. What are you talking about? Stop voting blue no matter who.
voted for have it backwards. ICE really does help public safety by getting somebody who's dangerous off the streets. That doesn't matter to people who've decided to believe things that are not true. Watch this.
The video shows the encounter between ICE agents and a man in the Bronx. Braulio Escoboza, who works at this barbershop nearby, tells me he saw it all. When he came out of his business, he says he recognized the man on the ground, who's been part of their community for years. The incident happened on Wednesday along the whole avenue close to East Gun Hill Road.
Thanks, Big Beautiful Bill. Appreciate that, man.
The man identified as Jerry Concepcion just turned.
This is me and Alshon Jeffrey. This is I used to work at Austin High School. This is me and Alshon Jeffrey. Yep. I was a little chunky back then, but this is me at Austin High School. I was head of security then.
20 years old. He was born and raised in the United States, according to his family.
So why is he running from the immigration police? What on earth could the immigration police do to somebody who's born and raised in the United States? Nothing.
That's next to me and the mayor. Once again, this when I was working in Chicago as head of security.
This is like not even a case immigration police should be involved in, unless, of course, they're looking for someone.
That's me and Jesse White. Once again, I was a little chunky back then. That's when I was a barber.
And they ask you to stop, and you immediately run away? Like, who runs away from law enforcement and doesn't expect law enforcement
to try and do something about that. This is a bad situation. It's tragic, and if you can be raised in the United
And this is me when I was a barber, and that's Ernie Banks, Mr. Cubs himself. So once again, I'm all about Chicago, Antonio. So you want to talk about Chicago, let's come with it. So other than that, Chicago needs to do better and stop voting blue no matter who. I met Larry Lightfoot. She's trash.
States and believe that law enforcement is your enemy, there's a real problem. Whoever's teaching people that is on the wrong side of history. And as you watch this tape, you can see that this individual immediately started running. And if ICE is out there trying to identify somebody who could be a public safety threat, and they're not allowed in the New York City jails because we're a sanctuary city, they got to do this job on the street. And if people identify themselves, they don't have to be taken into custody. They weren't even arrested either. They were handcuffed, yes, identified, and let go. That was all that needed to happen. Just show your ID and it's over. But there are some people who say that the ideas in people's heads come from their elected officials.
We just received word that Tom Homan made some comments at a speech he's giving, saying that he is sending in a surge of ICE agents to the state of New York. Should we have the if this legislature passes what I introduced in January, known as local cops, local crimes. The premise behind this is simple, that local law enforcement is there for one purpose, that is to help protect our communities.
That's me and Paul Gasol. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I'm all about Chicago, man. I'm glad I left. That's me and Paul Gasol. Hello.
Local cops, local crimes. If that passes, apparently the border czar says there's going to be...
Oh, and who is that? That's D. Rose. Wow. Yep.
more ICE agents here, not less. Now, why is that? Well, you see, the governor of our state is in a tough position. She's trapped between a Mamdani and a hard place, but she's out here criticizing the border czar because of this new law, which looks like it's going to pass. And once it does, it's going to ban the federal government from using city property or state jails in any capacity to do their job. Now, ICE is already banned from doing their job inside New York City jails because this is a sanctuary city, but there are other parts of the state that cooperate. This is going to be a statewide ban. Furthermore, this law is going to remove all protections from federal agents when they do their jobs and is going to allow the radicals on the streets to sue them for quote-unquote constitutional violations.
Antonio
which
gone.
will happen every single time ICE is spotted by anybody in New York City. And the lies people believe about law and order, the border, and immigration in general are about to become law here, which is what the borders are so upset
Okay, well,
about.
cool. He ain't time all to go. It's all good.
So essentially, butt out.
Well, Governor Hochul, I'm not asking either.
Yep.
I said it, we're going to do it. You know, she wants to sign legislation. She supports this legislation it's going to lock us out of jails. It's going to end 287G agreements. And it's going to prevent us from arresting a criminal alien in safety and security of a jail. We have partnerships in New York, you know, throughout the state.
Yeah.
Not everywhere, but she wants to end the partnerships we currently have.
Oh, okay, Bud. You got rid of him. Okay, cool. Not a problem.
Arrested in safety and security of a jail.
And now they've got to go on the streets, into neighborhoods, in front of barbershops, and do the one thing that everybody here says is bad news. Now, this, to the people who do not like ICE, is exactly what they want. They want to force this agency to go out onto the streets and to do their job in public instead of in a jail where the criminal is already located. And the reason they want to do that is because they want...
All right, you guys, I'm going to show you a little video. So this video right here.
Thank you.
That's my little son. His name is, this is my son.
Thank you.
This is when we had met Larry Lightfoot. So what this video is my ex-wife. She decided to dress my son up like Louis Lightfoot for Halloween, and it went viral. So I ended up meeting Louis Lightfoot and went on Windy City Live. I told her not to do this shit. I begged her not to, but it went viral. But yeah, just want to share that with you guys. You can look it up. It's on ABC, Channel News, Channel 9 News as well.
Want people to hate the federal government. They think they can use this
Once again, that was my ex-wife.
as momentum to steal the country back from the president who was just voted into office. But at the same time, criminals all over the place roaming the streets, that's bad news. That's a public safety nightmare. Something's got to be done about that. You can't put the whole country at risk with sanctuary cities that tell criminals that if they can just get across the border one more time, there is financial reward and the prospect of further criminal opportunity on the horizon. You can't do that. That's bad for all of America, and it puts every area of the country at risk, not just these sanctuaries. At the same time, this is an election year, and the people you see, the mobs on the streets of New York, they very well may decide who becomes the next governor of this state, and the governor is very well aware of that, which is why I mentioned that she's trapped. She kind of has no choice here, even if she very well believes everything she's standing behind and sponsoring. But the border czar says if this law passes, it's going to be the worst thing for the sanctuary status of New York that the city could ever imagine.
So safer for the officers, safer for the aliens, certainly safer for the community. So you're forcing us into the neighborhoods to find this person, which means since we lost the efficiencies of the jails that you want to lock us out of, now we got to send a whole team out there to find this person. So of course we're going to increase manpower a lot. And not only that, she said she wants to protect the migrant communities. Really? Because now we arrest an illegal alien. We can't rent a bed from any of the sheriffs in New York State. So what are we going to do? We're going to arrest that illegal alien. We're going to
Yeah, that shit pissed me off, man. I did not like that.
Detention facilities there, await their families, wait their return.
Right, don't use my son for clout. You know what I'm saying? That's what she was doing, chasing it for clout. He also got a chance to get the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The Make-A-Wish Foundation allowed him to be a train conductor for the CTA.
This is what we have to do because she forces this position. And
so they're forcing ICE to separate families, and then they're going to get out there and they're going to say, ICE is separating families. They arrested a member of our community and they flew him halfway across the country. How terrible. Meanwhile, that never had to happen. But it looks like...
Jernell, good morning, bro. Good morning. Thanks for the super chat, Jernell. Thank you.
Going to happen. And the interesting thing about this is it could be good politically for the people in this state who want to make problems for the federal government, want to be a sanctuary city, and want to talk about how lawless the Trump administration is, knowing that the voters here are going to respond to that and are going to get all excited to go and elect these people. And at the exact same time, the rest of America is watching this and saying, why do we have places in the country where federal laws don't apply? Why do we have a two-tiered justice system? That's what this is. How come people are allowed to break the law in one part of the country and destroy the country if they live over here? This is just crazy. This is a bad situation. This is bad for every single person, no matter where they live, which is going to almost motivate people to vote against this if they don't live here and they look at this and they understand what's going on, and just what a problem it is for national security, homeland security, affordability, you name it.
They're going to push it. And I think, Tom, they want to create another summer of love situation with more protests, get people hopped up in the streets, and see if they can roll this right into the midterms. That's what I think this is all about in the end.
Yeah, that's a good point, because you know what? You're going to have all these mobs on the streets. You're going to have speeches by local leaders that say, we've got the momentum. We're going to take this country back. We're going to stop Trump, and this is the year that we do it. They think they're going to accomplish this with outrage for border policies that the country overwhelmingly voted for and support. But what does the border czar think about this?
Well, we're going to force the law regardless. And, you know, she wants to put fear in the migrant community. She wants to get American people to turn against ICE because she talks about stay out of the churches, stay out of the hospitals, stay out of the schools. I want her to give me one example. I want one example anywhere throughout the United States since President Trump's been in the Oval Office. Give me one example anywhere where ICE has arrested somebody in the hospital, where ICE has arrested somebody in elementary school, where ICE has arrested somebody in a church. It's
you know something? There's people watching this who say if there's a church in New York City and that church is a base for federal fugitives and it's harboring them, perhaps I should have to go in there and enforce the law. Why should a place that bills itself as a religious institution be allowed to engage with and help harbor criminals from the federal government? There's people who are watching this that are going to say, you know what? We know that there is so much lawlessness in these sanctuaries. We want ICE to go further. And this is that duality that I'm talking about here. In New York, the outrage machine, that's what this is designed for. But in the rest of the country, people are watching this and they're saying, you know, this just shouldn't be allowed. Breaking the law is breaking the law. It doesn't matter where it happens.
Island. You can't square that and end our partnerships on 287G with some of the biggest jails in that state.
That's the jail
Now, CNN
policy.
correspondents are now saying that ICE is changing its approach, Tom. Watch.
Oh, yeah?
We are seeing less of those sweeping raids that we saw last year and more of that targeted, quiet approach to immigration enforcement. But of course, that doesn't mean that it's only public safety and national security threats that are being detained. It is also a lot of others who don't have criminal history.
I love the idea of criminal history. This is always brought up as a reason to say that, oh, what ICE is doing is against the law because they're arresting people that may not have a criminal history. Well, guess what? If you've got a gang and they're all on security camera and they're robbing a bodega and they're stealing money from the cash register and they're stealing the valuables of the people who work there and these people haven't been arrested yet, they're criminals. They just don't have a criminal history yet because they have not been convicted of that crime. And at the exact same time,
welcome back. Good Monday morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm Maria Bartiromo, and it is Monday, May 18th. It is 8:01 on the East Coast, and it is graduation season. Congratulations to the class of 2026. The U.S. Education Department unveiling the nation's first ever National Workforce Pell Grant, expanding the current program beyond 2- and 4-year college degrees. This new effort aims to support high skill and in-demand job training for fields like trades and healthcare. All this coming after the administration implemented a new cap on federal loans, $20,500 annually for graduate degrees and $50,000 annually for professional degrees. Joining me now in this Fox Business exclusive is the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. Secretary, great to see you. Always a pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Maria.
Tell us about this new program. I got to tell you, as we watch graduation season play out here, people are worried about jobs and what they're going to do after school.
Well, Maria, I'm really pleased to be talking about the Workforce Pell Program that goes into effect today, and it's part of the Working Families Tax Cuts Act. It was, part of President Trump's plan. We have to fill our workforce shortage. And so this is a new program from 8 to 15 weeks. You can go in and get certifications and go ahead and get into the workforce and get a job. And it's just fantastic that this is going to be able to happen. It's going to be a cheaper way to get certifications. You can stack these credentials, in electrical work, HVAC, carpentry, a lot of the skills and workforce that we need because we are desperately in need of this workforce development. There's a stat that shows that for every 5 people who are leaving the skilled workforce, only 2 are coming back. So by 2030, we'd be about 2.1 million behind if we don't reinforce this. So this Workforce Pell Grant is just, it's going to be amazing, I think, to get people back into the workforce, either through reskilling or newly skilled employees. So it's a really good thing.
Yeah, it's really important because the way we were doing things may not be working any longer. I mean, we had the president of Meta on the other day. Big tech is a big part of this story. Big tech is building out these data centers. And Dina McCormick said to me that we are expecting 500,000 new electricians. Electricians, you're not.
No. I thought people, hold on. There we go.
You guys know me. I don't do this sort of clickbait BS nonsense. I've never seen President Gabbard name names in probably the greatest act of sedition and treason our nation has ever faced in the Russia collusion hoax/coup initiated by Obama and thrusted forward by Clapper, Brennan, Comey, and all of the intelligence agencies. He posted a video today, honestly, I've never even seen it, where Brennan gets confronted specifically
Hey,
about
Brian.
the fake
What's up,
dossier
Brian?
and the whole Arctic frost collusion hoax. It's amazing.
Good morning, Brian. Welcome to the chat. Glad you're in the chat.
I got a lot to share with you. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, your favorite snack. Your boy Nez has got you covered. Also, I've never seen anything like this. And you guys know me. I don't do this sort of clickbait BS nonsense. I've never seen President Trump post a video like this that is full of empathy, faith, humanity, compassion. I don't even know where he found it. I'm going to share it with you. It's going to blow your mind. Stick around for that. But first, he just got back from China, and watch this amazing Trump train of posts. Check this out. Okay, so the first thing he posts is this is like he literally does the meme. This guy's legacy is just going to be remarkable. Check this out. Okay, we have it in our side. Fire. Boom. I mean, how do you not love this guy? He is the master troller. He knows exactly how to extract maximum level liberal tears. And I love it. This is something I voted 3 times for. If you voted for President Trump 3 times, type a 3 in the comments right now. I just want to know. Also posted this. What a difference. What a difference a day makes. Woo. 24 little hours. I'm probably going to get the video taken down now because of that. But check this out. So what a difference. He posts this. This is Vegetable in Chief Tombstone Biden next to an embarrassed Xi Jinping as opposed to Power Shake by President Trump. He got Xi to admit that MAGA is making America great again. It was phenomenal. Here's a close-up of that power handshake. Many body language experts are saying that Trump won in the sort of power sort of dynamic here with this amazing handshake right here. I agree. It was a huge success. I did a whole video on this. Check it out on my channel. He also posted this. It was a great honor to be with a leader who is respected.
I just heard too as well, when soon Trump, everybody left from China, all the gifts that China gave to them, they threw it all in trash. Yeah, he shaking hands, but you can't trust China. Then you known for spying and shit like that, the spy balloon. So I'm glad Trump and them accepted the gifts, but at the same time, they threw them all away. They brought burner phones and everything else that can't be tracked or used against us. So stop trying to say we puppets. We was puppets, but they took all the gifts, put them on Air Force One on a plane and brought it back to America, but they threw it all away. I'm glad.
By all, look at the turnout. You know, I don't have the side-by-side comparison with me right now, but when President Obama, the divider-in-chief, one of the biggest traitors and worst mistakes this country's ever made, visited China 10 years ago in 2016, he didn't get even a 15th of the same type of reception that President Trump did. This
so hasn't. Subscribe if you haven't.
President Trump means.
We are growing, we're growing. Subscribe.
We're not getting disrespected and pushed around anymore by the world. That people, countries, the globe now respects the United States of America, the greatest country mankind has ever known. Also posted this, the old broken slate floor on the walkway going to the Oval Office from the White House. The new granite floor replacing the old slate going to the Oval. President Donald J. Trump. Look, prior presidents, garbage. Because that's what the liberals are. They're filth, they're trash, they root in sewage manure like they do to all these states, cities, and towns like Los Angeles, Detroit, Chicago, New York City, and now D.C. But President Trump is fixing all of that. Look at the difference. This is what they do. You can see that stark image there on the left hand of your screen versus what we do. You tell me whose is better. He also posted this, the reflecting pool between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument, approximately 2,000 feet versus the tallest buildings in the USA. You can see here our pool is bigger than skyscrapers.
because we're the United States of America, as it should be. We should be grander, more grandiose, taller, more impactful, more powerful, more symbolic. Of course, that's how it should be. Okay, here is the post. I've never seen this video. President Trump posting this repost of the skiff saying John Brennan is a traitor and his involvement in the coup against Trump never ended. And if current high-level officials are trying to cover up this conspiracy against President Trump, then the statute of limitations should not apply or be reset. As active sedition and treason at the highest levels of government, Brennan and the ones still in government must be identified, stripped of their positions, and charged. It's time to flush out these traitors. And here is the video that President Trump posted. Holy macadamia nut. Check this out.
I would like to hear what your justification was for supporting the dossier that was known to be false being used as source material in the second ICA.
I don't know who put you up to this.
Nobody put me up to this, sir. I'm here on my own.
What role you played or who you are, but it's a bunch of bullshit you just passed on.
Absolutely. The emails are clear, sir. The emails are clear. The emails are clear. The second question.
Thank you, Bud, for stopping to the chat, man. Thank you, Bud. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, get to the wife and want no trouble. I'm married too. I understand.
No, I think we're going to. We are getting reports from Reuters that there were
he thought he was tired. Peace, bro. Peace.
Questioning people at Langley about Brennan's assertions to me in Congress that the CIA had nothing to do with the inclusion of the Steele dossier in the Intelligence Committee assessment. What do you think are the key components of John Brennan's?
I'll be back tomorrow, bud.
That these agents ought to be looking into, and that would contribute to broader reforms within the CIA?
Oh, I think the most important thing is this notion of weaponization. Weaponization is real. Weaponization has been used against many Americans simply because John Brennan or Barack Obama and John Brennan didn't like a person's personal politics. You and I have had this conversation. I think we both agree that the fact that John Brennan refuses to take responsibility for his actions legally would allow for the basis of a conspiracy charge. In that, if the conspiracy is ongoing, if the conspiracy to cover up his actions as the director of Central Intelligence is ongoing, that ought to reset the statute of limitations literally every single day. And so I think that there's a real conspiracy case here. I'm very happy that a grand jury is looking into it in the Southern District of Florida, and I hope something positive comes out of it. Positive in the respect that the American people can see that it doesn't matter how senior you are in government, it doesn't matter how important you think you are in Washington, you have to face justice just like everybody else does.
There was an email that went around from General Clapper to yourself and Hayden. I'm sorry, not Hayden. That's right. Yourself and Comey, etc. That basically said we all got to get on board with this, otherwise it isn't going to work, basically. And I think that email puts everybody in the crosshairs. I would like to hear what your justification was for supporting the dossier that was known to be false being used as source material in the second ICA.
I don't know who put you up to this.
Nobody put me up to this, sir. I'm here on my own.
What role you played or who you are, but it's a bunch of bullshit you just passed on.
Absolutely. The emails are clear, sir. The emails are clear. The emails are clear. The second question.
No, I think we're going to go. Look, you can talk about it. Talk about it in the reception.
Russian disinformation. No, we didn't say that.
All right, Florida, catch you later.
No, we did not. We said it. You did. No, read the letter. And I just like, I didn't get uninvited. Yeah.
No, we're done. Come on, all right, we're going to go over here. Let's go over here for a question. Thank you very much.
Why is it?
And you misrepresented that. We never said it was disinformation. We said it was Russian influence operations, which is what they do. There's a big difference between influence operations. No, you don't know that. You don't know. Only news. The literature said it had all the hallmarks of.
We didn't say it was Russian disinformation. We said it had all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation, knowing full well that the media would then fire hose that around and then change that to basically say, yeah, it's Russian disinformation. And when they did that, at any point did you stand up and say, well, actually, I didn't say it was Russian disinformation. I said it was all the hallmarks. Nope, you were quiet.
It's the same
you
thing.
were complicit in the lie being spread.
Like I said, I literally have no idea where that video came from. I've never seen it before. That was the first time of the president of the United States of America, somebody who has been absolutely attacked at every turn, 365, 24/7 by the Democrats, by former Democrats, by elected officials, probably people who cheated, by the woke media apparatus, which is large, powerful, very well funded, and more. Turning our citizens into brain-polluted mooks and minions and automatons who have no capacity for critical thinking, who are submitting heinous, horrendous attacks on our elected officials, people we voted for 3 times, as well as Elon Musk and so many other people who actually care about America. Hallmarks of Russian collusion and misinformation. What a bunch of BS. Again, if you missed my video yesterday, I very specifically laid out what President Trump is doing. The fact that Bondi's out, Todd Blanche is in. All of this is 4D, 5D chess. It is a mastercraft in politics. And if you missed it, I will leave a link to the video of that in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. But I can't wait to get your comments on that. Last thing I'm going to say about that. If you can defend your ideas, if you can defend your actions, you don't need to resort to violence. And he looked shaky, jittery, and boy, did he look uncomfortable. Looks like he was having a panic attack when that guy was questioning him. The body language to me is much more honest and authentic than what's coming out of his mouth. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay, this next video, I stand by what I said, and I'll say it again on everything. I've never ever seen President Trump post something like this. So President Trump posted this video with the caption that says, "This is so cool, watch President DJT." And it's posted by this OG Dr. C, who says, "We need more of this. When you're waiting on an answer, do as a waiter does and serve." And here's the video right here. I'm going to play it for you right.
Could you help me up by any chance? Pardon? I can't stand up on my own. Could you help me up by any chance? Yeah, sure. Can't see.
How did you get here?
I got my shoes robbed. I'm sorry. Thank you.
You got your shoes robbed?
Yeah. I don't know where the bus is. Is there a bus nearby?
Oh my God, yeah. Well, you can't go barefooted like that.
Yeah, sure.
You wait here.
Okay.
Okay, just.
I'll wait right here.
Yeah, just wait right here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get him in. Just sit. And then I'll bring you. Yeah, I need to get him something. There's a goodwill. I can go get something for him.
Are you sure?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't have any money though.
Don't worry. We will figure that out. So just wait for me, okay, please?
What's your name?
My name is Queen. So just hold on. He got you.
Oh, you got shoes?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I can get you to the bus stop and get maybe a bus ticket.
Are you with somebody?
Yes. I want to get him a compression socks because his legs get swollen.
What's your name, sir? I'm Zach. Are you okay? Are you sick?
I'm sick. The butler has taken him. We're giving 3 months to leave. That's why we weren't talking to a stranger. You know what? Let's get you settled.
Can I give you a hug, Victor?
Thank you. Oh my God.
Love you.
Oh, who are you?
How are you staying strong?
We have each other. And we trust God. Like He's made it this 4 years. And we're just trusting God that He will leave.
Was there anything you can do at this point?
Well, I did a lot of research and I found out there is a place in Mexico, but we can't afford it. I can take him there and he will get a chance to leave.
Victor, what's your dream right now?
Somebody really get to do what I used to do. I've fallen off course of my dream completely. I'm emotionally down, physically.
Can you wait? Let me take him to the bus station and get in the bus bus, okay?
Before you do that, hey Victor, I'm not blind.
Oh. What are you doing? What happened?
I was just trying to find somebody kind.
You stole from me.
What line can you see me?
I can see you.
What is he wearing?
He's wiping his face right now.
Oh my God, he can see.
With a bonnet on.
Oh my God, he can see.
And I actually have something for you. I have $1,000 cash. I hear a lot about this.
You leave your shoes.
Oh God, you leave. God leaves. God leaves. God leaves. God leaves.
Yes, he does.
Oh my God.
There's a way that the sky opens up when we touch it.
You don't know what you have done for us. I came here to come up my socks with my last money that we have.
You're gonna give me your shoes? Why?
Because we like to keep that we see.
I have friends and I'm gonna try to come together and help you get that treatment in Mexico too. I have 50 million friends.
What would Jesus do? That's just.
The lady just called me and I told her that we would not be able to make it. She called me from the facility because I was making inquiries. And I told her that we can't make it. I'm exhausted every day and we don't have the money. We sold our home 3 years ago.
Wow.
And I have been spending that money just to make sure he gets well. You're going to leave, Victor. You're going to leave. You're going to leave. You're going to leave.
Boy, if that didn't hit your vagus nerve and get you emotional, I don't know what will. I don't know where the crowdfund link is, but I'm sure it can be found. I looked at President Trump's post. I didn't see it. Maybe they already reached their maximum goal or whatever, but President Trump posting that, to me, I try really hard to be unbiased. I try really hard to be fair. President Trump's faced over 90% negative coverage from the woke media, major network, corporate press apparatus. And I found story after story after story of him showing tenderness, soulful compassion, empathy. And him posting something like this. Everybody watch this. This is so cool. We should all be like this. It's just another sign on top of everything else he's doing. We are so lucky, America. God
We're blessed.
Bless all of you.
We're blessed. We're not lucky. We're blessed.
President Trump, I love you. Make this video go viral. Tap that thumbs up if you love America. And if you thought that was beautiful and emotional, leave a comment. I can't wait.
He said, I grew up different than the stereo. You see, what these clips are really exposing, not race, not party, irritation. A growing irritation at being politically translated by people who swear they know us better than we know ourselves.
So you can't be a sincere black Republican? I don't think that you can be black and be a rational MAGA person. I think they would find that very insulting. Well, I mean, the truth is often insulting.
Don Lemon, the man who's married to a white man, will tell you about white supremacy. That's your white supremacy. You married to a white man and you a man. Make that make sense.
I think that's utterly ridiculous. You see, we have a two-party system, and you need people of all walks of life on both sides of the party, and that's what makes this system the best you can ever imagine and the best in the entire world. And this whole thing started because Don Lemon made a carte blanche statement about all black people, which is utterly ridiculous. And you're saying that black people cannot choose the politics that they want to follow or choose the political party that they want to be a part of because you want to silo them into thinking that we all have to be the exact same and think alike. We are not monolithic. We all have different backgrounds. We all come from different places. My military background is my father is a colonel. My sister's a West Point graduate. My brother is a West Point graduate. I grew up in a
subscribe, everybody. If you haven't already, subscribe.
Someone like me, based on the way that I grew up. And I'm smart enough to understand that and realize that. And I'm not going to continue to support the left if it doesn't coincide with the way I believe. Now, obviously, we start with an older clip, but Wesley Hunt didn't even say anything extreme, right? That's the crazy part about this. He basically said, I grew up different than the stereotype that you built for me. And that somehow becomes offensive. The left keeps running into this wall where they can understand black pain, but struggle to process black individuality.
Right.
Well, and once people stop feeling politically represented, they start sounding politically exhausted.
From my research, Lyndon Baines Johnson said it best. I'll have these N-words on Democrat for the next, 200 years, he said something like that. And when you have a party that is promoting everything that this book, the Bible, goes against, at a certain point, people are just like, oh, this is crazy. Multiple genders? What is that? I can't even discipline my children anymore because you want to take my children away from me? What is that? You saying my wife should leave the home and not me? What is that? I can cut my genitals off and I could become a woman? What is that? Right? And so when you have all of this up and you're like, wait, whoa, we're tired. We're tired.
You guys get a chance. These are my videos I done the other day. I do shorts, long, do live. I do it all, you guys. Trying to get this information out there. I got 2,028 subscribers. Help a brother out with the views to get this, to push the algorithm out. Get the truth out there. Like, share, and subscribe.
The black community is tired of being taken for granted. The Christian community is tired of the immoral stuff that's going on. Psalms 33 says, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. And it says somewhere, I believe in Proverbs or Psalms, one of the two, it is righteousness that exalts a nation. And right now, we're not a righteous nation.
Now, this clip doesn't sound rebellious. It sounds tired. The man is basically saying, why does every traditional value suddenly make me the bad guy now? Like, that frustration is growing faster than the media wants to admit. You know, especially with black men, I'm saying. And then people started realizing something even worse. You know, some politicians only seem interested in black problems during campaign season.
Somebody told me an interesting story about.
There was a black man who killed 8 of his children and then himself. Where is the media outrage for that? Where is the media outrage for that? A black man killed 8 children. I think the oldest maybe 14, if not younger than that.
Ice Cube. He went to the Republicans and the Democrats. And he went to the Republicans and the Democrats. He went to the Republicans and said, hey, I want to do something for the black community. He struck a deal with the Republicans, with Donald Trump, to do something incredible for the black community. They were willing to listen to him, and the Democrats were not. You know, he struck a deal with Donald Trump. He go to the Democrats, they brushed him off. They shoot him. They didn't even talk to him. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you've been saying this forever. They've been doing us like this for years. Yes. Because when you sold out to one side, they don't have to work for you. I've been saying this for over 25 years. Over 25 years, whenever I've been speaking on politics, I have always said, for one election, I want black folks to vote Republican just to put the Democrats on notice that you have to work for our vote too. And to put the Republicans on notice, you might have a shot at getting our vote if you cater to us the way you cater to other communities. That's all I've ever said. What I would say instead is that when we look at the Democratic Party
today and you listen to supporters of the Democratic Party, they will talk about a plan that the Democrats have in place that benefits our community. My point is, where is it? When does it work? And unfortunately, on too many occasions in our society, we've got politicians who've mastered the art of exploitation and not mastered the art of uplifting. And that's really what this comes down to. That's the problem.
And I think the worst of them are the black ones. The black people who represent the community have failed us. The black leaders, not all of them, but I think a good number of them, because they are perpetuating this, the very thing that has held us back. The Democrats have done the worst job than anybody.
Yeah, I remember the Ice Cube situation. And actually, the Ice Cube situation changed how people viewed political loyalty, actually. Y'all don't be telling me, I got stuff on my face. I can't trust y'all. But yeah, it changed a lot of people's mind politically because he came with requests. Not vibes, not the slogans, hashtag, none of that. He came with requests. And Democrats basically told him, cool, wait until after the election. I'm sure that moment struck people because nobody likes feeling emotionally important but politically postponed. And speaking of frustration boiling over, this next woman from Chicago sounded like she was done sitting quietly in meetings pretending that everything's fine.
The reality is this. Black people's voting is not in danger, and you know it's not. And you know it's not. I'm 63 years old. I've been voting since I was 18. I have never had a problem voting. Now, that may apply to my mother and father. It applies to my grandparents. Surely it does. And in fact, because it does, every single person in this room, including that Jewish lady that just got up and talked, need to really be thanking us. Really need to be thanking us for getting y'all the right to vote, for getting y'all the right to be here, instead of sitting up here manipulating the Voting Rights Act like something's getting ready to happen.
Yeah, Obama, trying to tell us men that we should have a gay friend, a gay man to talk to our sons. Are you fucking stupid? Obama's a weak president. He turned everything gay in the White House, him and Biden. I'm glad they not in office no more. Period.
It's our right to vote when you know that's not true. So now you all gonna drag black people in here, definitely some senior citizens, and gonna have them come up here and talk about how they scared to vote. How this messed up their right to vote. Women need to vote. All that junk. When you know it's not true.
Preach.
Just like you sit up here and make like black people can't get IDs. Us requiring IDs to vote. It's gonna stop black people from voting. Why black people ain't got IDs? See, you all get more and more ridiculous. But you can't, in this room full of these black people, talk about that federal case that just got filed Monday that's talking about how you all are stealing property at Cook County sales. Where the black people in here? Raise your hand that if they told you to come in here to talk about how your property got stolen. Where you at? Huh? Because we got commissioners in here that know for a fact it's happening. Catskill, you know it's happening. Lori, you know it's happening. Michael Scott, you know it's happening. Lamont Williams, come on, you give up cases for the county. You know it's happening. Donna Miller, you know what's happening.
Darnell Hill, Paul, good morning.
That they done send here with these 501c3s.
How you doing, Darnell?
That they
Welcome
got
to the
y'all
chat.
in here talking for them. Why y'all ain't in here talking about how they stealing our property?
1 minute.
Where y'all at? Come on, because y'all getting ready to come up here to this mic and lie with the cameras to say that black people's voting is done by this Louisiana thing and Donald Trump and the Trump administration, when Donald Trump is in front of the Supreme Court right now fighting for the 14th Amendment, saying that black people, that amendment was for black people.
30 seconds.
Not for birthrights, not for people to anchor themselves over here illegally. And they got y'all black people in here getting ready to talk against him. I mean, y'all real sick up in the head.
Yeah.
You're sick in the head and more sicker in your spirit.
constituents into terrorists, and they're doing it on purpose. So let's call a spade a spade. The Democratic Party is turning its constituents into terrorists, and they're doing it on purpose. The constant rhetoric.
He's so damn emotional. That's the problem. Facts over feelings. Name is Deontay. Thanks for stopping by. This is from X. Let my man cook for a little minute.
That creates fear will eventually turn into hate, which we already see. And if that hate is allowed to fester long enough, it will turn into desperation, which then leads into violence. What I'm saying is eventually, all of the Democratic supporters will get to a point where they feel like the unaliving of Trump, the cabinet, and all of their supporters will be the saving of America. And the Democratic Party knows that if they continue to spread fear and confusion and chaos, that their constituents will eventually become chaotic. They will become rioters. They will become terrorists. And we're seeing that more and more each day. This is what they want. People like Harry Sisson and Aaron Parnes are being paid to turn the Democratic supporters into terrorists. At some point, they will feel like the unaliving of MAGA, of anybody who supports Trump, would be a positive thing for America. This is where they're going. This is how demented this party is. The Democratic Party is America's Hamas. God bless.
He's not lying, man. I had posted something on Facebook yesterday, and somebody saying, "Take me out my misery." I'm like, really? Where'd that come from? Because I have a disagreement. I'm a MAGA supporter. That's crazy. I'm 43 years old. I voted Democrat at one point in my life, and I lived it. I see it. I lived in Chicago, west side of Chicago. It's trash. Just last night, they had, 500 kids doing a teen takeover. But this is just sad, though, that they took out Charlie Kirk because he just wanted to talk and let you agree or disagree. And they celebrated it. Makes no sense at all. These people are evil. They're demons. You got to pray for these people. Pray that demon up out of them. When it comes to these Democrats, vote them up out of here, too. And it's just sad, too, how they tell you that Democrats are losing their votes and they can't vote, but yet it's a black woman in Virginia that's a Republican. Chances are she might win, but they saying that's racist because she's a black woman, she's Republican.
Tennessee,
but
made a
they
mistake.
want a white
Tennessee.
man that's a Democrat to represent them.
Steve
I thought
Cohen.
you guys want black representation. It make sense. I don't get it. Obama telling everybody vote for the white woman, but yet she's going against a black woman. When it came to Kamala Harris, vote for Kamala Harris because she's black, but yet she's actually Indian. This is crazy. The Democrat, whoever's good is bad. This guy is blue, we know it's blue, but they're going to tell you it's green. And people going to fall for it. You know, that's sad. Facts over feelings, you guys. Facts over feelings. But I ain't gonna hold you guys too long. I just wanted to share that with you guys. But man, he be cooking. I see him a lot lately on X. But my name is Deontay. Thanks for stopping by. Just want to rant and rave a little bit. Thank you.
This is insane. Time is it?
Jessica Jackson.
Jason, what up, Jason?
Everybody knows Chicago flips red. Everybody came prepared to talk symbolism. She came talking property, taxes, stolen homes, real damage. That's why the room got tense. Real world problems ruin performative conversations. And now, at this point, the media narrative.
Subscribe. It happened already. Why not?
Openly.
Common sense channel.
Questioning who gets labeled dangerous politically.
Wonderful process. The Democrats are insightful, the Democrats, because they are dumb. They've redistricted for years, and now we took our shot, and it looks like we're going to pick up a lot of seats, and that's a good thing. We want voters to have their choice. We want fair voting. We want fair elections. The Democrats
Democrats have been cheating on elections for many years, and all we're doing is winning. Thank you. Wonderful process. Amazing. He never.
Trump's point hit because Americans notice inconsistency faster than politicians think. One area gets described like democracy is collapsing, another area votes the same exact way forever, and somehow that's called healthy. People are getting tired of language changing depending on who benefits from it.
Right.
And finally, how do I say this? Modern politics has become so theatrical that some people don't even sound like leaders anymore. Look at this guy.
Mr. Chairman, you have 2 ayes, 7 nays.
Get a haircut, bro. If the roles reverse, you guys would say that's racist, it's wrong, and all that trash. He should never done that on both sides of the aisle. He shouldn't have never done that. Get that man face like that. The man has the right to knock his fucking teeth out and cut his hair. Well, sit down, Junior. Go sit down.
Justin, come on. Justin, it's not Justin. Come on, Justin. Okay. We love you. Come on, Justin.
Mr. Chairman, you have 2 ayes.
Now, this Justin clip is important for one reason. It shows how modern politics rewards performance over stability.
Hello.
Everything has to feel theatrical now. Everybody's either fighting, surviving, sounding the alarm.
I'm a victim.
Democracy. Nobody talks normal anymore. And the reason these louder personalities keep getting pushed forward is because outrage has become a business model. Calm people don't trend. Measured people, let's be honest, they just don't go viral. But Americans are starting to
Florida
notice
Grown, appreciate you, man.
danger.
Appreciate you being in the chat, man. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back all week. I got Friday off, so I'm here.
If somebody can only lead while emotionally overheated, what happens when the real crisis shows up? That question matters more than party labels, y'all. At the center of all these clips, though, is one simple reality. Black Americans are irritated at being politically narrated, not persuaded, narrated. People are tired of being spoken about like, I don't know, projects instead of human beings with individual priorities, really. Some care about religion, some care about business, some care about crime, some care about taxes, some care about culture, some care about schools.
Right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We're growing. Oh, wow. Look at that. Thank you.
Maybe it's the arrogance of assuming millions of people must arrive at the same exact conclusion or something is wrong with them. That mindset has quietly damaged political conversations for years because the second independent thought enters into the room, some people stop debating and just start diagnosing.
Right.
No, I'm sure I can speak for Americans and say that we're exhausted from it. Not even angry, just exhausted. And then that's different. So if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to put in.
Can we stop voting blue no matter who? Can we start with doing that, especially the Black Americans? Can we stop doing that? Because they Black doesn't mean they have the right or the best for us, period. We had Chicago, 2 Black mayors. Where has Chicago been gotten? Chicago has not been elevated. It's going down the drain. They care about the illegals more than the Chicagoans. Period. They'll tell you no money in Chicago, but yet the money goes straight to the illegals. As of right now, $700,000 is being paid in Chicago for illegals to live in a hotel somewhere on 73rd and maybe Cicero, I believe, as of now. This is crazy. But you guys want to keep on voting? Oh, Brennan Johnson, he's black. He's in the alternate community. He represents us. Man, get in there. Say he ain't not going to raise property taxes. Property taxes up the roof. Amazing. But let my man cook. This is from X.
What's up, everybody? Zeke here. So I got a question, because there's something that's been kind of bothering me for the past couple of days with all this redistricting, and you have all the blacker than black crowd saying, "Oh, we're going to lose representation, and this is going to put us back to Jim Crow, and this is going to be so detrimental for the black community." My question is, and it's a real simple one. You can answer in the comments, because I always have people who always want to straighten me out and check me. My question to you is, what has all this black representation gotten to the black community? I mean, just honest question. Can you point to anyone in Congress who is pro-black, and you can say, you know what, I'm glad they're there because they were able to get this? Has Jasmine Crockett been able to secure funding for this project in the black community? Have any of them done anything? Any of these black Congress folks, any of these people who say, I'm here.
Barack Obama from Chicago, president. What do you do for Chicago? Nothing. Now you got a big dumb presidential center, library. That shit is trash. And you need an ID to get in there. But they tell you having an ID is racist. Make that make sense, you guys. We gotta do better as black people, man. We gotta stop killing each other. Keep having our babies. Stop aborting our babies. We gotta do better, man. We gotta do better for real. All this hatred about Trump or hatred towards each other. Stop killing each other. Stop all this gang violence. Get a job. Stop selling drugs. Get off the snap. We, as a black community, we can do better if we get some jobs and stick together.
Because I'm black, what have they done specifically for the black community where losing them would be a bona fide loss? Because I'm curious about that.
Later, bro.
They've only helped themselves. Like Jasmine Crockett will remind you
Let's work together.
that she's a black woman. I can't think of anything she's done.
What's she done?
So any of them at all, Hakeem Jeffries, any of them, what have they done where you can look at it and go, you know what, I'm glad they're there because the black community is really doing big things because of them? What have they done? And if they haven't done anything, why are they in Congress? Just my question. Put it out there. Zeke Arkham, got your 6.
Appreciate that.
Bye.
So what it is they in Congress to keep the black people on the Democratic plantation. That's all it is. Keep the black people and the brown people on the Democratic plantation. Period. They want more government and more control and more power. They don't care about you. They don't care about us. They don't care about America. It's all about power. As soon as black people start voting Republican, they open the floodgates of the border to bring in the illegals. 20 million of them. At one point, you had Obama deport 3 million. All of a sudden, the black and brown start waking up. Oh, open the floodgates. Bring them in. Wake up, you guys. Wake up. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. What is going on with this world, you guys? A lot of BS is going on, a lot of distraction with this hunter virus. Kind of find out the hunter virus is BS. But yet the fact that they had a cruise that had 28 people, foreigners, arrested for child porn. Conversations doing nothing about it. No outrage, nothing about it. They talking about wearing a dongle mask. We not wearing no mask. Period. We done that already. Not gonna do it. Not gonna send us off. And then there's people that got talking to the people about the Hunter virus. These are actors. They all connected. Do your research. Follow the money when it comes to this situation. Every time something big happens in the media, see what else is going on during that day or before that day. It's always a distraction, and they trying to send us off. And then, yeah, I'm MAGA, but I'm also an American, 100% American. Yeah, I like America to be great and continues to be great. And when Trump leaves office, I'm going to still say I'm MAGA, regardless, because I'm an American. I want things to be done right for us. And we need to put God first and keep God first, because no matter what happens in this world, God is always going to be in control, no matter what evil agenda left, right got going on. We got to stay prayed up, stay in our Bible, pray for each other. Pray for each other and put it in God's hands. That's what I got to do. Once we pray, let it be. It's in God's hand. Don't go about talking about it. Don't go back tweeting about it. Let it go and move on to another situation, because God is in control. I don't know everything when it comes to these politics stuff. I'm just like everybody else. I'm listening, I'm learning. But at the same time, I got to be open mind what's going on. And most of all, do we line up with God? If you line up with God, don't mess with it. Let it go. I'm Brennan and Raven. That's the name of my show. I'm Deontay. Like, share, and subscribe. What else? I'm glad that the Supreme Court overturned this gerrymandering BS. This is crazy. We should vote based on the person going to do the job, not because of their race.
Thank you.
It's sad that
Thank you,
Democratic
guys.
Party
Thank you.
is represented as black, because 90% of the black people are voting Democrat all the time for the last 60, 70 years, if not longer than that. And that's crazy. Y'all are so dedicated to that one side that y'all can't at least one time vote Republican. And then not only just that, y'all know the history. The party never switched. The Democratic Party is the party of corrupt, stay in power. They don't care about America. They want to stay in power. They want to replace us blacks and browns for the illegals. They want the illegals to be the new slaves. Yeah, come across the border. I don't care. As long as you work for free or cheap labor, we got you. And vote for us. No. And then come to find out, half these people that came illegal across the border, and they did get a chance to vote, they didn't even vote. Because obviously, if they did vote, chances are we wouldn't have had Trump in office. But obviously that didn't happen. And I'm glad we got Trump in office. Trump ain't perfect. He don't say things that I don't like, you guys don't like. But yet I voted for him because I know he's a strong president, and I know he's going to be present when we need him to be president at the mic. And I always read a doggone teleprompter. He give you how it is, straight from the cuff, from his mind. And I appreciate that. I like that. And then when he campaigned, he tell you what's going to happen. And when he campaigned and then he's elected, he's making it happen. The border crisis. Biden got out, Trump came in, border closed, we good to go. What else? And y'all so thirsty about having a woman president. No. And the ones y'all trying to prop up, they ain't educated enough. They ain't strong enough. You got one thinks everything is funny, and nothing but word salads. Make some sense what y'all talking about. And get some better writers at that. Jeez. I ain't the best speaker either, but I'll make sure what I say has some sense to it and some meaning. They just get up there and say anything. AOC just took out some AOC rewriting history with her words. You've already seen on social media, just saying anything, and people just clapping. They had her in church, and she in church, act like she black. A pastor of the same church I think Martin Luther King went to and preached at. From what I'm hearing, that church is not even a good church to go to. I think I heard they say it's a Marxist church. Not good. Anything Marxist is not good. What, Black Lives Matter supposed to be Marxist group? And where they got us? Nowhere. They got all that money and moved to the white people's neighborhood. So they just take that money, help the black neighborhood out. They help themselves. Again, we gotta do better, people. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. So I'm gonna keep on using my platform to educate you guys that the left is bogus. The left do not care about you. They are demons, and they're evil. And we gotta pray for them. Pray that demon up out of them, and vote them out of that too, out of office. We gotta go back to common sense again when it comes to this situation with our lives. We got all these babies out here, and we need to make sure these baby generations taken care of and keep America great with this Constitution. I don't want the Constitution to get lost. I love the Constitution. It's there for a reason, like the Bible. It's there for a reason, a great foundation, and let's stick to it. We are a constitutional republic. I get the whole democracy thing, but when it comes to republic, it's mine, and I earned it. How the Democrats want to do it is, if you earn it, yeah, let's still share with everybody else. No, I earned it, want to keep my stuff. If I want to share it, yeah, I will share it if I want to. My choice, not the government. Less government, that's the thing too. We should have less government, period. The government should protect us from other nations that's trying to attack us. Do that. And if you want to help some people out, you help America first. Take care of home first. Y'all sending money to overseas to countries taking care of their gay agenda or pushing gay agenda, and these countries don't even want this gay agenda going on. And y'all want to push it and send money to them and funded it to them. So I'm glad we had Doge to stop all that and expose all that. That y'all sending money for Disney, not for Disney, well, even for Disney or even Sesame Street overseas. Yeah. This is crazy, you guys. Someone is ready to rave with you guys. Get some off my mind, off my chest, APM. Off my mind, off my chest, because this is ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Thanks for stopping by. What is going on with this world, you guys? Someone is ready to rave with you guys. Get some off my mind.
Try not to laugh too much during this reel. Yeah, so it means scam. It's just right out there in the open. You are being scammed, and there's still people gearing up to probably wear 2 or 3 masks, searching for the next booster shot. And I got to hand it to the captain. This is A++ level of acting. Oh, and he had to do the moose in his hair.
I must commend my crew for their courage and the selfless resolve that they showed time and again in the most difficult moments. I could not imagine sailing through these circumstances with a better group of people, guests and crew alike. Most importantly,
I'm not wearing no mask. I'm not getting no booster shot. I never did, never will. I'm not going to comply to none of this trash. It is bogus as hell what is going on. They trying to send us off. There was 28 people that a Disney cruise arrested for child porn. Child porn. 28 people was arrested on a Disney cruise. I'm going to have him continue. Your name is Deontay. Like, share, and subscribe.
our thoughts are with the ones that are no longer with us. And whatever I say will not ease the
Yeah, that's sad. That's crazy. It's election time. It's midterms. Then try to bring all of the diseases out. Midterms, bring out the diseases.
Our hearts and our thoughts.
And does anybody remember this guy from COVID? I don't know if you remember that headline, but he kind of, because this guy seemed to have made some videos about why you need to take the shot.
Right. These are actors, you guys. Actors that's telling us to take the booster shot. Actors telling that the virus is going on. These people are being paid. They lying to us. Do not comply. Do not be sent off by this. Not again. Never again.
Several years ago.
Vaccinated.
Boom.
Gorgeous vaccinated girls get boosted. And gorgeous boosted girls get boosted again.
No shot. Pure blood.
That guy kind of resembles
Pure blood, Darnell. That's what's up. Pure blood here.
I normally wouldn't make a video like this.
this.
The voice the same. Green shirt. Come on, y'all.
I am currently on board the MV hobbyists, and what's happening right now is very real.
Straight data. Put some bass in your voice.
We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people. People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage of...
Keep them on the ship. Don't bring them back, man. If they did bring them already, if they brought them back already, okay. But that's bogus as hell. They should quarantine on the ship or want somewhere else to be isolated. Don't bring them back to America or any other parts of the world that, you know what I'm saying, they can be affected everybody else. A lot of BS is going on with this whole thing. A rat dropping all of a sudden now gets into the air. All of a sudden now you get this BS. That's the case in a lot of Democrat cities and shithole cities should be infected by this virus. But they're not. Come on, y'all. All them brats in New York, big as hell, big as a dog. Y'all don't got the hunter virus in New York, in the subway. Chicago subway as well. All them brats in there. Nothing, huh?
About this, just remember that there are real people behind it.
Yeah, real people are lying.
And that this isn't something happening somewhere far away. It's happening to us right now.
On the water.
And this just happens to be his sister. Oh my gosh. You'd think they want to recycle out these actors, like recycle them out. And you can't really trust people with a lisp pushing a vaccine. You really can't do it.
People with the lisp. Right. I'm not going to comply. I'm not here to tell you guys what to do or shouldn't do. Do your research. Please do your research. Don't get all emotional and then start doing dumb stuff. Take your time. That's okay. Because number one, God is in control. There was no way this virus all of a sudden just made it to a cruise ship. And nobody else overseas got it but this cruise. Once again, it was a distraction. 28 people on a Disney cruise arrested for child porn. Yeah. So I want to share that with you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Yep. A lot of BS, you guys. A lot of BS. But I'm going to end it with that, you guys. I've been live streaming today for 3 hours and 12 minutes. I really appreciate you guys. I'll be back tomorrow with some more, good information to share with you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.